Hey everyone,
Hey
how's it
guys.
going? Hey, welcome to episode 15, the big 1-5. I can't believe we're here. A few things to announce before we get into a quick recap and a quick introduction of who we are. Some of you may or may not have already seen by now that Twitch is introducing ads. Oh, baby boy. Oh, big old baby boy. Ads galore. So while you're watching this show, you may randomly have an ad pop up. Won't be more than 30 seconds, and we apologize for that hiccup. When we take our break and come back, we'll do a secondary recap in case you may have missed anything in the first half. Now, of course, Twitch has said that you can skip these ads if you subscribe. That is completely optional. We are doing our best to make sure you get the story no matter what you choose. You deserve the story just as much as everyone else. So we apologize for the ads. Bear with Twitch as they try to figure out what to do with this new system. That's announcement number one. Announcement number two, and this is exciting. We made a promise to ourselves that we would announce this at episode 15. We officially have our own Discord up. So if you're a big fan of Nat 20 Productions, if you like Edge of Legend, if you like At the Table with myself and Mr. Michael Powell, then you can join us in the Discord. The link will be provided. If not, please find us on our social media, Facebook and Twitter. You can shoot me a message directly. I will cry as 300 people tell me they want the link, and we will get you that link. And then as things progress, we're going to have some really fun and super secret content for people in the Discord as things progress that are members of the Edge of Legend community and the subscribe. So we'll get to that when the day comes. Right now, we're giving you a place to chat with each other for free and just enjoy your fan theories and everything else. So I think that's it as far as egregious, excited, and gregarious announcements are concerned. That's a lot of big college words. And I got a theater degree. What am I doing? Anyway, moving right along. Before I derail this train off the tracks worse than I already have, let us stop me from talking and introduce these amazing players that are going to be heroes with you today. Starting with my man at the table, Mr. Michael Powell. Please tell them who you are, who you play, and what your pronouns are.
Hi, everybody. I am Michael Powell, and I play the fabulous Rufa, investigator extraordinaire. And my pronouns are he, him, and they. I practiced that.
Oh. Next up, we have Kylie. Kylie, please tell us who you are, who you play, and what your pronouns are.
I'm never second. Okay. I like that we're in sync, Ian. Hi, I'm Kylie. I play Shionimus, the Elven Ranger, and we go by she, her.
Awesome possum. Well, since she said your name, I have to call you out. Ian, tell them who you are, what you are playing, and your pronouns.
My name's Ian. I play Woodwort, the Gnomic Druid, and roll for Mush. And my pronouns are he, him, they, them.
Very, very nice. And Sidney, same three questions. Who are you? What are you playing? And what are your pronouns?
Hi, my name is Sidney. I play Ilona, the half-elf cloistered cleric, and my pronouns are she, her. Also, thank you, Mahooch, for gifting a tier 1 sub to the community. Aw, and they gave it to Keywork. That's so nice and lovely and wonderful.
Aww.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just noticed that. Thank you so much, Mahooch, for that wonderful gift. Hope you enjoy that key work. Now, I guess it's time for me. Everyone else has this cute pose and awesome thing. So hi, my name is PJ. I'm awkward in social situations. That's why I lift weights. And
He plays
and
Morel in real life.
God, if that ain't true. My pronouns are he, him. I'm the GM of this train wreck and this fun train wreck. I hope you've enjoyed so far. It'll get better in a minute, I promise. And I'll be playing everyone in between. So that being said, quick recap if you didn't watch the recap on YouTube already. Last time on Edge of Legend, the heroes discovered that there was a giant plot from the Senator Lothan Sempris, who has been, I guess you could say, compromised by the words and works of Geb Zebel. And we don't know who that person is yet, but we do know that Geb is trying to make this individual work with, for, all of the goblins and their bloblins, as chat has amazingly dubbed, all throughout the city. After a quick search and dragnet, they have found all the bloblins, and with Morinle Logorunun's hard work, they have glue bombed all but one, to which they cracked their knuckles, loosened up, went in the sewers, and took care of business. They killed themselves 5 goblins and 1 hobgoblin, and then morning came, like it does, and they went to Senate. Senate was kind of fun because the Ice Queen was there, and we got to see firsthand why she's called the Ice Queen. If Shionibis's time 101 wasn't enough evidence. And everything was going well until they realized there was an Acadian in their holy office of democracy. And they're like, well, we can't have that, until they had Ilona swear on Afra that this dude was legit, to which they made him swear on a book of their local law that he was going to tell the truth and not try to affect their country and their politics. You see, there's a lot of tension between Adelphon and Acadia for reasons you'll probably hear again and again and again and again. And as they drew their weapons of office, they called the Senate to a meeting, and this is where we start. Episode 15 of Edge of Legends. Smash cut to the Senate as the sunlight comes through the beautiful open air kind of glass ceiling with this big horseshoe shaped room with doors all over the place, like a library of doors, and 3 massive curling concentric, I don't think that's the word, getting smaller as they go up, desks. And these desks are now being filled with senators. After the swearing in of Morel Harkisian, these senators draw weapons, they declare an oath, they put their weapons on the table in front of them, and they sit down. Now, I remember in the chat, we had someone ask, what kind of weapon does Lofane Sempris draw? Well, because as you remember last episode, Lofane, who of course was a senator that was corrupted by Gebzebel, you see him reach in shakily and pull out a little tiny dagger. And as he pulls out a tiny dagger, a note falls out of his pocket, to which he places the dagger down calmly. And then with great terror, dives under the table, comes back up with an awkward bang on the desk, slips the note back into his tunic, and acts like nothing happened. The Ice Queen, Bowen Rionag, kind of takes note of this with an awkward eyebrow arch, her blue crystalline prosthetic magical arm meeting her other arm in the middle, and she says, okay, now that we have done all the formalities, the Acadian is sworn in to testify that he will be under perjury of our laws and therefore subject to them should he break them. We will start with the Senate hearing. I have under good authority Master Dominus of the Progressive Party and, of course, Magister Bellum of the War Seat. They are trying to come together for a greater threat. It is the burden of proof upon these foreigners and upon both councils to show that there is a threat to Adelphon, and that does require our time. So, Master Dominus, would you like to speak, or would you wish to refer to your expert witnesses? To which Master Dominus says, I'm terribly sorry. I would prefer to extend the evidence originally to those who brought it to me. I feel it's only fair. So please, without further ado, I would like to give the floor to these foreigners, as you so called it. Michael.
Really quick, as this is going on, I was wondering if I could use my ability to pursue the case on the Green Army case. Before we did it on something else, I switched it out. Now I'm doing it to the Green Army. And this is different now because not play tests anymore.
That's right. We're dealing with full
Real rules.
Full book rules. Yeah, totally. Take the case on the Green Army. I think that's a huge case that requires your attention.
Okay. Let me see. Pretty much, it just says pursue it. Actually, on the case, pursue a lead. I just say that I'm on this lead. So whenever I attempt a perception or skill check to investigate a designated subject, I get a +1 circumstance bonus.
Yeah, Oh yeah. A free
Actually,
plus
no, wait,
one.
I could actually.
Nice.
Apparently, in the new rule, it says I could have 2 active investigations at a time. Then, so I get 1 more.
You have your primary and I believe your secondary.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was different in the playtest. I just want to
It
make note
was.
of that.
Totally fine. Okay. So you've taken the case.
Yeah.
Bowen Rionag. I guess you see something kind of feisty start kicking in her eyes, and she says, all right, sure. I will allow these non-members of Adelphon to speak in the Senate on behalf. I want to hear from the Acadian sympathizer.
Mhm.
I believe her name was Alona. Check the record. It is Alona. Could you read that back to me? After that. Before Lofen was late for his 3rd Senate meeting before the holiday. No, Lofen, we took a break, but we've reconvened. That technically counts. It's still within the seasonals. Yes, thank you, Alona. Alona, please, I want to hear you address the court, this Senate meeting. Burden of proof be upon you. Please, enlighten us to the threat that you and your friends so-called claim to be upon us.
Alona is going to walk forward to wherever she is meant to stand in the large place of public speaking. And she's going to say, members of the Senate, my name is Alona. I come from Or. I arrived in the country of Adelphon barely a week ago. As soon as I arrived, a city of Cobadale fell under siege from a horde of goblins and orcs, meaning to take down the town. This is where I met my friends Rufa, Shionibus, and Woodwort, and Morel, while we defended the city. From there, we were dispatched to gain more information on to where these goblins and orcs had come from and why they were banding together. We soon found their hideout in a nearby quarry. We destroyed the army by blowing up the quarry. But before that, we were able to swipe some maps that my friend Rufa has over here that show a plan for world domination. These plans are absolutely real. They are incredibly intimidating. But the thing that I want to bring up, which I feel is the most important thing, is that while we were eavesdropping on what the army was doing, we overheard a rally speech by one of their generals, Champion Zanakin. This champion rallied the people by encouraging their hatred of humans. He said that humans had been treating them as lesser beings for a millennia, and that if they were to ever overcome this, they had to take back their lives with violence. So their motivations are absolutely clear. These individuals, goblins and orcs, feel as if they have been neglected and put down for centuries. So their reaction is to take back whatever they have with force. So we come to a great moral dilemma. As for proof, we have the maps from the camp that we took earlier. We also have proof of an invasion inside the city already by this goblin that my friend Rufa has thrown at your feet in a few minutes prior. We also have 2 gigantic orcs that we believe have been created by some form of mastermind that they have in their army. This mastermind has used some insane machination to create gigantic orcs that have no thought or feeling and follow orders blindly based on whoever their commanding officer is. We have 2 of those outside of the city buried up to their shoulders in dirt. We have all of these things here for you, and we have to say they are going to be at your city gates in a matter of days, hours, minutes. So every time that we sit here and we debate what to do, just keep in mind, every second counts.
Give me, first of all, hero point. Hell yeah. Secondly, give me a diplomacy check.
Okay. Okay. Na-na-na. Oh, my diplomacy got better. Yay, leveling up. That is a 21.
Nice. Okay. So, as you're doing this, as you're saying this, you can see a palpable fear start to wash over 90% of the Senate. The only people who seem to show no emotion at all to this are the people in the highest 3 seats. Rheonag, the other elf that's with her, the one with the shaved head, and the dwarf with kind of the purplish beard. Kind of like, almost like a dream was put on his face and he wears it. So with that, there's a slight murmur. And you can see her words are starting to stir the people until eventually the dwarf kind of, you see the whole time he's been covering the lower half of his face, and he raises his hand, and you can see his hand is made almost entirely out of wrought iron, and he knocks his hand on the table as if like a gavel. And as you knock, knock, dead quiet, he slowly leans back and he says, "You raise some good points about the unfortunate location of this country and a potential invading army. However, if the burden of proof is that there is a race war being declared from the orcs to all human people, then the fact that Adolfon Prime is home to over 20% population dwarf, 10% elf, and 5 miscellaneous, that does not present a clear and present threat to at least a majority of the people of Adolfon Prime. Now, I cannot speak for the territories in the south, but I can speak for myself and my 2 fellow senior members of Senate. If they want to kill humans and humans alone, then tragically, well, that may be a world issue. That is still a human issue and not mine and not theirs."
Okay.
But my attention has been drawn to subsequent mentioned parts of evidence. Can we see the maps presented now? With these, maybe I would be persuaded that this is more than a human issue. Michael, yes.
Yeah, I was wondering when we got the evidence and everything from the caves in episode such and such, didn't they say it was just everybody who's not orc?
I'm sorry, could you say it again?
I thought back in episode such as so and so, I forgot which number.
It's okay.
When we were in the cave and all that stuff, when we got the information, I thought it was anybody who's not an orc. Was that correct?
What you do know is that they're invading land, and that's
was
what
it
you can tell.
specifically human that they mentioned?
They mentioned some. I'll say this: give me an intelligence based check, just
Okay.
D20 plus intelligence modifier.
Cuckoo. I'm good at that.
By the way, Sidney, I want you to know that the Senate now is ripped in half between everyone who's like, we're gonna get murdered, and all the non-humans who are like, sounds like a human problem to me.
I love that dwarf just took us right back to square one. We had to get the progressives and the war council on the same side. We got him here, and immediately his first statement just rips him right back apart.
21.
21. All right, 1 second.
We're killing it.
We're killing it.
We're killing it.
We're killing
Well,
something.
I should say this. I am currently keeping another tally, kind of like the rendezvous with Master Dominus.
Oh no!
So we'll see how you're able to sway the hearts and minds of the Adolfon Prime Senate. Going back to your 21, Michael, you recall specifically in the speech, champion. You're referring to the speech, correct?
Yeah.
In the speech of the Quarry of Adolfon Prime, outside of Cobbledale. Champion Xanakin does mention the humans specifically. However, if Alphon Prime is any indication, if the map certainly is any indication, while they may hate humans the most, quote unquote, their targets are international. It is land and the things within.
Okay. It also, did he just like kind of open it for us to reply, or is it still only senators to talk?
He has, well, the dwarf on the top, who has, by the way, a little plaque that has their name, and their name is Senator Runeforge. And Senator Runeforge has basically asked for the map. They have said, I need to see the maps to really understand that this is not a human issue. You know, the argument of, if they come marching in here and they kill all the humans, sucks to be humans, but that means we can still function as a society.
And one more thing, can you give us kind of a basic outline of how this Senate is kind of structured, like architecture wise? Like, where is the frost, the snow ice queen? Where is the center's kind of that kind of thing?
Sure. So mentioned previously, the senator, the ice queen, Bowen Rionag, there's 3 different layers, if you will, like an onion or a cake. And at the top level, you have this really short wooden kind of horseshoe table desk thing. I can't think of the proper word. In the center, because she is the most senior member of the Senate, you have Bowen Rioneg. To her right is Senator Runeforge with the purpley dreamy beard, and to the left is the other elven woman with a shaved head. And they're at the top. You have the second row, which is kind of just a straight line, and you have the third, which is the biggest line. Now, it's structured a lot like how the UN is kind of structured, where they're like centered by local geographical politics, like countries, like that. However, instead of countries, since they're all the same country, it's done by parties. So you have the Progressive Party to the this does not sound good. The Progressive Party to the far left of the table. To the far right, you have the war seat.
Dig in the hole.
Yeah.
Dig in the hole.
Oh, I didn't intend this, but oh damn, it's subconscious. And then you have different parties along the gamut. You have like the agricultural party, you have the foreign trade party. There's also some senior members of the parties down here on the second floor. So they have like a majority whip, if you will. That'll be on the second station of Senate. If you go to your middle school civics class, you can learn all about this structure system.
One last thing before I take my action. Would I be able to throw the map up to the Snow Queen and Runeforge without rolling an athletic check or anything like that?
Well, you threw a spear over 160 yards to declare a war, so you could probably huck this too.
But are you going to make me roll an athletic check? That's what I want to know.
Okay. I'll say yes. Because that's going to be at least 30 feet high in the air. So yeah.
Okay. Good to know. I kind of know what I want to do now. Okay. Rufa, he puts his hands behind his back. He's kind of walking kind of like a lawyer kind of would do. As he would. He kind of just like leisurely strolls towards the center of the circular area where I guess we are. Kind of starts chuckling a little bit. And then takes a deep sigh. I wish Rufa wishes he could be as naive as you, Senator Runeforge.
Okay.
Have you ever known an orc to not resort to scorched earth tactics? Are you not familiar with an orc's how they fight, how they battle, how they do war? Do you think they have overall a modicum of self-control? If you do, I believe you might have to return to school to learn a thing or two. Rufa then kind of reaches into, I guess, wherever his pack or his coat, pulls out the maps in question,
Sure.
walks towards the closest center he can while walking to a straight line, I guess under the Ice Queen, and hands the map and asks whoever's in front of him, male, female, whatever. He just calls him, my dear, would you kindly just pass this along? And just walks back to the party.
Okay, so I'm going to need a check for that mad smack talk. You get to decide if it's intimidation, diplomacy, deception, whatever.
See, intimidation or diplomacy. I mean, they're both the same. I have the same stat for both.
Intimidation.
You know what? As my mother always told me, you catch more flies with honey. So I'm gonna go with diplomacy.
He says after he smacks talk and senator.
Just sure, it was in a nice way.
Well, I would say traditionally a dwarf wouldn't really care for that too much, you know?
Oh, we'll find out.
There's two ways I can.
26.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm good at this stuff.
All right. So give me an athletics check really fast as well.
For what?
Oh, that's right. You gave it to the.
No, I gave him to pass it along.
Okay. So as the map is making its way up, you can actually hear some people audibly gasp. The war seat looks at it, and you can see Bellina just like, I friggin' knew it. Like she is ready to roll. But it gets passed up. And as you're saying this, Senator Runeforge is giving you that kind of cheeky grin, like, you know, his tongue is kind of like playing with his teeth, going, okay. Finally, the map makes up to him. He rolls it out. I'm sorry. They roll it out for the three to look at. He kind of like rests their cheek on the big iron wrought hand, and they look at the map, and they say, before we continue, I'd like to remind you, or perhaps inform you, that I was raised in the area outside of Tuzuko. I know that not every Orcish tribe is a monolith of their own culture. I met the Greyash, and there was this one group that really loved confectionery pastries. I'm not quite sure about them, but I'd like to remind the litigant before us to be very careful how they swathe all groups together. In fact, if you'd like to compare me to any other dwarf you ever met, Neri would agree that I'm the same as them. But before I continue, I have to say that this map is actually quite concerning. Bowen kind of has an eyebrow raised. Yes, quite. Senior Senator Urionig would like to call forth one of the oldest living members of the witnesses. I'm familiar, of course, with your name already, but please, Shonibus, could you announce yourself and any titles before the Senate so that we may swear you in as an expert witness testimony? And by the precedence of the Tree Act, your age alone grants you expert witness testimony privileges.
Jonas, who has been hanging out in the back, kind of just like chuckling on and off about this whole thing, and just like this. Oh, okay. She just takes a step forward and is now in line, or just a little past everyone. And she's like, oh God. I'm Shonibus. I hail from Nubia. I don't know what else you want from me. That's the only title I have.
That's fine. As I said, according to the Tree Act that was passed sometime after the Great Pruning, your, shall we say, our shared station and longevity kind of gives us more weight to our words. So please, could you elaborate on this map that we see before us? I see markings everywhere. Am I to believe this is what? A game of child tic-tac-toe? What am I looking at here?
I wish it was that easy. The original one is an orc. I have it in my bag if you'd like to see it, but I assume no one here really speaks orc. You'll settle for the copy instead. The X's are cities, towns, areas that have already been executed. Circles are ones that will come up next. Different camps that we've encountered have as many as, she's going to hardcore exaggerate, as many as 12 orcs, 30 goblins. For one single camp, we've already taken out, what was it, Alona? 2, 3, 4? Something along those lines. And I do think that this is a far bigger threat than what the rest of your Senate. She looks at the one that's like, humans don't matter. Thanks.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Ooh. It's a good thing I'm good at diplomacy.
Got a hero point.
That's a 13.
Okay, so we're going to hold off that 13. Michael, I saw the hand raised. I think I know what you're going to do. What do you want to do?
You're
muted.
Sorry, can I aid her?
I had a feeling that was going to be the case. Absolutely.
I'm going to re-roll then.
Kai, you said diplomacy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a 14.
Oh,
Moving up in the world.
nat 20.
Nat 20.
Oh, first nat 20 of the game.
Hey!
Okay, so I will give you, because he critically succeeded the aid check, I'll give you +2. So that'll be a 16.
Right on.
So as you say that, Bowen really starts to lean forward in her seat, and eyebrow raised, and she says, if I'm to be told that there are orcs against me, I prefer to read it in the traditional orc. Could you bring it up here, please? I'm fluent in the language.
To clarify, didn't
Yeah.
you already see the map once?
I believe you talked about it and maybe even brought up your version of the map in her place. However, this is now Senate.
She's going to take it from her bag and walk up to one of the senators, and she like points to the Ice Queen and kind of signals for them to like pass it along.
Sure. So they pass it along. She gets it in an Elvish. So I guess you and Alona would understand this. She says, thank you, sister. My son is in good hands. And she pulls out the map in Orcish, and she starts to read it. And you hear her speak Orcish fluently. And she's just going, huh. On Prime, to loosely translate, home of the nerd. They all want for lack of subtlety, aren't they? Yes, I can see that they have. Oh my, they're attacking other orc tribes as well. This does bring up another interesting question then. If they are attacking other territories as well as orcish territories, then how are we to believe this is a threat? Are other orcs not fighting these orcs? If that's the case, is this not a threat that could kill itself out in time? Why should we mobilize our entire national defense against a threat that could just peter out in time?
Because most orc tribes are with them. There's only a few that aren't.
Mm.
And given numbers, they will be wiped out fairly quickly.
Everyone in the group, give me a perception check.
Ooh.
Yes.
26.
Nice.
Ooh. I got a 19.
I got a
19.
24.
26, 19, 24. What about you?
14.
14. Okay, so I will break it down like this. The 14 and the 19. You see what looks like one of the war priests of the cultist Bellum leaving in a hurry. Ilona and Rufa, you see Magistra Bellina looking at a piece of paper in absolute terror. Her eyebrows are almost fading into her hairline. And she kind of puts the paper down, face down. And let's see, Rufa had the highest score, so she kind of calls Rufa over. She's kind of like, she's eyeballing Ilona, but she's also like gesturing to Rufa.
Rufa, lawyer walks on over. Kind
All
of
right.
like that Perry Mason walk, a little bit.
Oh yeah, chat's already saying you got your thumbs in your suspenders going, no, I may just be
Country chicken here, but I know a thing or two about such and such.
I know a world war when I see one. Anyway,
Mhm.
so Ilona, you see Magistrate Bellina gesturing for Rufa, but staring like help me signs at you.
Okay, well, yeah, no, Alona's gonna book it as gracefully and as quietly as she possibly can. Over to her friend, Magister Bellina.
Magistrate Bellina, once you approach the bench, for lack of a better word, stands up and turns to face the top three, and they say, Magistrate Bellina, lead of the war table, wishes to have a sidebar with the witnesses about some new evidence that is vital importance. Am I granted a momentary leave to do this? Which Bowen says, yes, but you can't leave the room. You know the rules. So Magistrate Bellina turns to everyone, puts her hand up and whispers to Rufa and Ilona. And she says under her breath, I have just received word from the guard that the so-called big orcs you've mentioned, the pit you've buried them in is empty, and their bodies are not presently there. The guards are only interior force and patrol. They did their duty. They found the place empty.
Alona is going to ask, did you find any remaining members of the Ulfgard company around?
They flip over the paper, they turn it to you, and they slide the report to you. And they said the only thing they found was an empty crater and broken weapons and shattered shields.
Rufa asks, for other evidence, have you checked the quarry?
We're on holiday. There's no reason to extend our forces to the quarry. If there's a Knight Sanitari that's there, it's their responsibility to check in. But the Knight Sanitari of Emery is also on holiday. Why would they go to the quarry?
Because the quarry... Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay, Rufa. I see where you're going with this, but I think it's smarter if we have our forces here in Adelphon, because if this means anything, this means that they were ambushed. This means that the army is closer than we could have ever thought. And that means that we need to get these people moving fast.
Yes. My worry, though, is if they did not find our buried friends, will we need still the physical evidence to present to the Senate?
I feel as if the evidence of broken spears, 2 empty pits, and I feel like that's enough.
True. Lufa just worries about that the Dwarven senator. He seems to need physical evidence. Unless,
If anything, we have the goblin that we found in the sewers.
yes, true. Hopefully that will be enough. If not, if we must present further evidence, perhaps send one or two soldiers or the surveying unit to the quarry for the evidence that we will need, because while they may have taken our two-berry friends as two-berry friends, but they would not be able to uncover the entire army in such a short amount of time. That's physically impossible without some very powerful magics.
All right. Ilona is going to turn to Magistrate Bellina and the person that brought the letter. Do you have one person, two people you can spare to send to the quarry to see if there is any evidence we could possibly bring back to court, or to see if the orcs have somehow made it back to their former headquarters?
Magistrate Bellina, she shakes her head yes, but she says, every single soldier at the Cultus Bellum is at my disposal. Every priest, every champion. However, knowing where the quarry is in Emery, it would take easily 1 to 2 days just to get there, and then to come back would be the same. By the time we even get them to return, it would be almost half a week, maybe even about half a week, half a tenor. It would be way past this meeting, and I have a feeling if you don't present evidence now, Bowen is only doing this on courtesy of rules. She'll close us down and not reopen under lack of evidence.
Aye. Then we must put our bet all in on the goblins.
Yes. But it should
continue. I'm sorry, Sidney, go. Keep going.
No. I was just going to say then we should absolutely, even if we don't have the evidence, we have to at least we have 5 eyewitness accounts that they do exist, and 5 eyewitness accounts that there was an entire militia of people that were there to guard them over the past 2 days that we've been there that have now suddenly vanished with broken weapons.
And we also do have our little goblin friend here as another witness.
Yeah.
Magistrate kind of sits back and she says, all right, with your permission, I will present this evidence. As evidence to this trial, to the Senate hearing, I will push this up forward if you believe that we should do this now. Before we do that, though, Kylie, I saw you were getting very excited. Was there something you wanted to say?
I mean, Shionibus isn't in this little conversation, so if y'all want to fill her in, I got some plans. Just if you want to, no rush or anything, but
I mean, you definitely see them talking, and you definitely see them all looking hecka worried. So yeah.
Great. Well, in that case, I'm going to call Shionibus over and be like, "Hey, your son's missing."
Oh,
what?
right.
You were like, Shionibus has a child? Leon Tari's her kid.
Took me
Her
a second.
Her adopted son.
Her adopted son. Yes.
And the one she doesn't like too much.
Yeah. No one cares
We don't talk
Boba.
about Lova.
Yeah, we can find out she has favorites.
Yeah, it's like that meme where it's like Shionibus bending down and 2 orcs, and she's like, I love you both the same. And she pulls Leontari over and she's like, I was lying. I like you more by a lot.
Yes.
I mean, basically though.
Yeah.
What?
We just received word from outside that the Ulfgard company is gone and the orcs are gone and there's nothing but broken shields and spears and battlements and their remains.
Her face completely drops. Not that she had much emotion to begin with, but even more. In that statement, she is going to turn and walk closer to the Ice Queen.
Mm-hmm.
In Elven,
Mm-hmm.
she is going to say, the Ulfgard company is nowhere to be, scratch that. Lyrian Voss's Ulfgard company is nowhere to be found. I need to go.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Oh.
Switched out dice. So here we go. Why? I'm going to use a hero point. This is ridiculous. Why am I only getting sevens?
Do it, girl.
Like, only gotten sevens.
Yikes.
Oh.
It's a 14. It's another
Oh, you got
seven.
another 7. Another 7. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
What does sevens mean? What are the angel? What's an angel number 7 mean? Let's look that up.
I don't know, but we'd be really happy to be sitting inside of Felix's place right now because that's 3 7s in a row.
Yeah.
Lucky number 7, yeah. He's got 7 silver stars that make a horseshoe on his lapel.
Yeah.
He's all about that luck. Okay, so you tell Bowen that. Bowen, by the way, completely. You can tell she's hearing you, but she's visually ignoring you. She's kind of staring at Magistra Bellina. And she just goes, if you need to leave, the door's behind you. But, this is in Elvish, right? So in Elvish, she responds, if you need to leave, the door's behind you. If you need to find the sea wolf, I understand. And the last thing she says is, but if the sea wolf and Ulfgard was protecting the city from those things, then that is an outside force. And I cannot employ Adolfon resources for an outside military action.
Like, looks her, like, gets in her line of view.
Mm-hmm.
Are there stairs anywhere?
Most of the tables you can only reach by doors, but there is kind of a sliding step, a sliding group of miniature stairs that you can kind of use as a civilian, if you will, to get up to present evidence to the higher levels. Another reason why you suspect every senator has a weapon on the table. So it's like, I'm going to assassinate you. Haha, no, you're not. But yeah, you could walk up there if you wanted to.
She is going to march up there as quickly as possible and still like stand behind her. But like when you know how in movies where it's like the president and then their advisor is like she's like leans over the shoulder and she's like, this is your son.
In Elvish?
Yes. No.
Ooh, okay. Give me a second. I gotta make a GM roll because that's ballsy and I love it.
I gotta eat the popcorn.
So I will say make a diplomacy +2.
Ooh.
PJ, really quick.
Are you kidding me?
What's it, Michael?
I just want to make a comment saying that I'm getting real Clone Wars vibes now.
I am the Senate. So yeah, what was your roll at the +2?
That's another 7, which makes it a 16.
Okay.
Actually, that's not bad.
Not bad at
Not
all.
bad.
Okay. So you say in common, this is your son. You can see she does not meet your eyes. She ignores you, and you can feel this palpable tension. And then she slowly leans back in her chair, and she says in Elvish in a whisper, I have sworn an oath to protect these people with all of my best power and interests to the level of the law that they have decided was fair. My son and I have not been on speaking terms for over 40 years. He has already made a threat on my life. And while I love him with whatever heart I have left in my breast, he has made his choices. He's a big boy, and I am exhausted.
Jonas takes a minute and kind of leans back and kind of like smirks. Like, No one told you, did you? Did they?
Told me what?
When I first arrived in Cobbledale, he was there. He was taken. If it wasn't for these people standing before you, he would have been dead.
Give me one more diplomacy check. +2.
That's a dirty 20.
Yes!
There we go. Okay. So you can just see her struggle, the conflict she's now into. Do I save my a-hole son who shouldn't have been here in the first place, who is now trapped in the middle of this potential world war? Or do I abide by the oath that I have sworn for thousands of years, protect my lawful citizens, or try to find what's the best interest thereof? And she's having this emotional crisis. Her ice hand just constantly gripping and grabbing the air, looking for an answer. Eventually, she turns back to the Senate, and in common, she says, "The burden of proof is being continued in this meeting. However, the burden of proof about a war has been sustained and justifiably met. It is at this point, with these maps and evidence brought to my attention, and at this point, the letter from Belena arrives. She reads it. She slides it to the elf with the shaved head, and she says, "The war is upon us, that which has been proven. I have just received a letter from the War Council that their guards have found an outside interest paramilitary unit has lost their lives in protection of this fair city, and in doing so has brought to light that these special orcs that these people mention are a true factor of violence against us. However, their presence is missing. They are now an unknown asset. So step one, the burden of proof for war has been proven. Now, I came here under the combined vote of the Progressive Party and the War Party. Now I have to ask the Senate, as well as the people here, to convince the burden of proof now, going forward, to be the course of action against the war. If we have a course of direct action, we will continue forward and declare full war. If not, then while we recognize the potential for these 5 invaders, we can only sit back and hope diplomacy wins. By the laws of Iodex in this great city." And everyone in the Senate just goes, "By the laws of Iodex and this great city." Michael.
Rufa kind of turns over to, I'm guessing, Alonis next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Should I throw a javelin now?
Well, Rufa, you can only speak for yourself. You can't speak for the rest of Adelphon with that coupon, unfortunately. But if you want to make a show of it, go ahead.
You want to use your declare war coupon?
I kind of want to save it for now, but he does kind of look around for a javelin.
Unfortunately, the only javelin you see is on the full war kit that Magistra Belena is wearing. Even though her sword and warhammer are crossed in front of her, she's got a rack of 7 going across her back. Good luck getting them off her. She'll probably kill you in the process.
Okay. That's all.
Okay. Okay. With that, Senator Bowen says, "The Acadian has been awfully quiet. I did not swear him in under testimony of the expert of Afra to only have him sit there patiently. If we are to have war on all sides, I'd like to know what the warmonger has to say about this. So, Acadian, and please, by all means, everyone here is also vouching for you. If we are to have war, I need proof, clarification, etc. of a course of action and a course of presence. Acadian, please, the floor is yours. Speak. And you see Morel, who is by the entire time been at this kind of attentive step, kind of looks at the whole party and he says, what? I mean, what do I tell them? They know about the orcs. They know about the super orcs. They know about the maps. They know about the... By the way, that goblin is chewing his own foot. Are we concerned about that? No? Okay. They know about everything. What could I possibly tell them that they wouldn't already have evidence of that you presented? What can my testimony bring?
Well, you can only speak from your own experience. You can only see what we've seen. You can only say what we've done. But the unique thing that each of us has is our own point of view. So from your years of expertise, since you have been through wars, out of the party, you do know, out of all of us, what is a good course of action. Should we really go to war? Will this thing pan out? Do you believe that somehow this is all a misunderstanding and we're really just overreacting and everything's going to pan out? What you have is your point of view and your opinions. And whatever you say, I trust you to say the right thing.
Give me a diplomacy check, Alona.
Oh God. That was a 10. I rolled a 3.
Should I bother trying to aid?
I mean, I might use my hero point in this moment because that was really bad.
That's a good speech. I'll tell you what, you use a hero point. Micah rolled to aid. If anyone else wants to roll to aid Morel, go right ahead.
Yep. Let's help bolster our beefy boy.
I'll give it a shot. That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
I'm going to actually not aid Morel.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be honest in the fact that Woodward's probably not paying attention to anything that's going on around him. This is the most boring place he's ever been.
I love this.
I, as a player, understand, but if Morel's about to leave and hears a clank of armor, it'll be a, what? Huh? And that's about it.
I love this. This heavy political narrative, and there's the druid just getting drunk in the 9 in the morning going, hey, look, I think y'all got some great ideas, but those chairs are way too high up. You're overcompensating for something.
Absolutely. I don't think his wherewithal is here to he is confounded by this entire discussion.
Hey, more than all right. I approve the character choice, and you know what? Screw it. Hero point for you for playing your character without disrupting anything. So Alona, last check. What was that diplomacy check?
It was a 13. I need help.
Okay, it's okay. All right. So, you all come together from whatever distance. Maybe it's Shonibus giving the old 2-finger salute. Maybe it's Rufa giving, kind of a funny pep talk, a hype up speech. And it's Alona speaking from the heart and being honest as she always is. Morel turns to face the Senate. He turns around and he looks at them. And as he does, he hefts his shield so his left arm is free. He twists something on his right, pulls off his gauntlet, drops it to the floor. lands with a heavy metal clang. He reaches into his boot, pulls out a knife slowly, and starts cutting himself out of his armor, which then falls to the ground heavily. Puts the boot back, puts the boot knife back, but he still carries a shield with Afra's holy symbol on it. And he says, I stand before you now, a disgraced captain of the Acadian military. I served for about 5 to 8 years in the Ocean Territory. My job as captain of my unit was to try and to supplicate the people to an Acadian rule. I was made fully aware of the tactics we used in the Midnight Tower and the black curse that we put on the sky. I was given direct orders on where the abominations were at night and to make sure ocean people were to go there to be killed by ghouls and liches and all sorts of undead creatures. My Lieutenant Hamas, my brother in arms, we tried to fight these orders as much as we can, but there was other units ensuring ocean death. As I stand before you now, that man, that captain, died the day he saved. I died when I retired. I know war. I know my home, and I know the beautiful heart in my people, as I know the heart in your people. Because for the first time in my long years, when I stepped foot in Colberdale of Emery, I knew forgiveness. Maybe it came in the form of an ocean girl. Maybe it came in the form of people that rallied around me because I threw myself into the call of duty. But that's what it takes. If there is war on all sides, if we are faced by an enemy far greater than we can possibly know, then we must strip down these ideas of who we are, where we come from. We must rally together. We must make the line in the sand, and we must declare to the skies, no more. War is never good. I've had to bury children. I've had to write letters to parents back home for Acadians who will never know their home and soil, who will never know the sunrise. But you better be damn sure that there is the possibility of threat that all of you, whether you're human or dwarf or elf or, and he looks at Alona, or even something in between, that every one of you has the right to breathe. This is your home, eh? Now, you don't like me in your home, fine. Bugger you, bugger this bloody place. Defend your bloody home, then. I was killed by one of those monstrosities. Willingly, aye, to prove a point. Thank you, Shionabis, that was fun. So I can assure you, regardless of your ears or your beards, they will not think twice to rip your still beating heart from your chest. Secure those who need to. Rally your army where they're from. I can bear testimony. Can you? With your encouragement of morale, with his +8 to diplomacy, with the die face roll, he has rolled a 28 diplomacy check. And proceeds to give them a call to arms, the likes of which Lofen Sempris is now a sniveling, crying mess, and he's blowing his nose in his own tunic. To which Bowen responds with just kind of reserved, the dramatic Acadians. Okay, fine. We have heard the witness testimony. We see the goblin eat his own foot. Can we give that goblin something to eat? He's almost up to his knee. Idiot goblin. We now know there's a clear and present threat. We know that war is inevitable, and we now know that in order to defend this nation of Adelphon, we must rally for war. Put it to a vote. On the official vote for war, as senator, I say aye. I need you all to give me diplomacy checks one more time. And if you have any other evidence, any other arguments, or anything else to move people to war, yes, Michael, you are muted, by the way. Michael, you are muted.
Yes, I know. Really quick, I just realized I have an ability that actually can help all of us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Can I give everybody in the party using my clue in ability? They changed it after playtest a little bit.
Yeah, totally. I believe this gives them a bonus as well, right?
Yeah. Pretty much the trigger is another creature attempts a check to investigate a lead you're pursuing. I'm guessing this is a lead that we are pursuing.
Morel just gave a speech about like, yeah, these people killed me. If they're willing to kill me, they're gonna kill all of y'all.
I need your help a little bit, PJ, on this. What's on your interpretation of this ability? So I'm just gonna read it out to you, okay?
Sure.
You share information with the triggering creature. Everybody. They gain a circumstance bonus to their check equal to your circumstance bonus to checks investigating your subject from pursue a lead. The GM can add any relevant traits to this reaction depending on the situation, such as auditory and linguistics, if you are conveying the information verbally, which I am.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Woodward, you heard a bunch of metal drop on the floor, and you heard Morel give a big old speech about go to war.
I'm really happy that this gives me the chance.
This is going to be the deciding factor in the bonus and anything else that I give this amazing buff that he's going to give everyone. Woodward, what do you do / drink in public? What do you do?
So with the clank of metal and a finishing call to war, Woodward from his slump space just kind of and stands right up, but not so much so because he's a gnome. He just kind of slips off the chair that's probably built for humans and doesn't actually get any taller. He immediately raises his hand, and he points to the person who said I believe it was the Ice Queen.
Correct.
And he just points at her, and his entire speech, which shouldn't be considered a speech, is I.
All right. So, as Woodward pops up, like we have a family get together, and your uncle passes out on the couch, and he wakes up suddenly, like, yeah, what?
Braveheart.
Braveheart, I. That I is now a rally cry. Every one of you will get a +1, and I will consider. Even better. I'll give you guys a +2. And if you don't want to make diplomacy, you can make another social-based check that you are good at. That could be diplomacy, intimidation, deception. I will even allow certain wisdom-based checks like perception to kind of be like, yeah, we got this. We're seeing, like, we're reading the room.
Oh. My charisma score reflects the fact that I just woke up.
Nice.
And nice. I got a 3.
Okay. Score 1 for bad. Okay, cool. So, Rufa, give me that big fat number.
26.
God bless America.
There we go.
Asma,
Somebody's
bless
doing work
Adelphon.
here.
Alona.
Oh, well, I got a 16.
All right. Shiona Base, what you got, girl? I saw you got excited.
26.
Nice.
Hey, twinsies.
Okay. Now, before the Senate gives their vote, it's tension time. In order to succeed in getting a majority vote to declare war and create an action plan to save Adelphon Prime from the very present World War breaking down on them, you needed a total of 8 victories. Taking into account the amount of arguments that were lost in Senate, I will now give you the total. of winning arguments to push this forward. And that number
Oh.
is...
I
Hold
hate
on.
that I hate that I might have tipped the scale. The fact that I just rolled that 3 may have just like boop.
So, you needed 8 victories. To your credit, you only had 2 losing arguments. Or 2 losing moments, I should say, from your rolls. You had 10 winning arguments, which means you have a majority vote of Senate. As you do this, and as Woodward gives his eye, and you all stand heroic as hell, back to back, cue the Avengers theme song, camera spinning like a Michael Bay flick. The whole room is so incredibly inspired by you and Morel and everyone else that they all immediately just shout "I." I think the only person that doesn't shout "I" is like the dwarf Runeforge or Runebeard, who's up there like, I still don't believe it's my problem, but honestly, I'd rather be on the right side of this. So, So with that, Bowen calls Magistra Bellina to give her an official document declaring war on the Orc Collective. Now, right now, she even admits as she's signing it right there and then, this paper is loosely defined. She knows there are Orcan enemies that are working with goblins. But she tells the whole group, as she's signing it, I don't know who these orcs are. I know there's many tribes. I know there are orcs coming to kill us, and I know that you say there's a lot of them, but judging from these 2 maps, there are some orcs that have yet to ally with them. Before I declare war on all orcs, I am going to need some specification as to which ones. Ilona.
Specifically, one that we know for sure is the Black Spear tribe.
Excellent. Does anyone else? This is the final, guys. How'd you do on the pretest? Yes, Michael.
This is one of those occasions that the character is smarter than the actual player.
Yeah.
I was wondering, could I roll intelligence or something to like recall knowledge on all the orc tribes?
I will let you do that only because I know you copied Shionibis's map.
Yeah.
And Shionibis, if you also want to roll, go right ahead.
So
Intelligence.
what modifier do I add to it?
Just your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
19.
All right.
$19.
Okay.
Hey.
So you both know the Black Spear tribe for sure is a part of it. They're kind of the bulk of the military force. You also know the Red Rock tribe is part of the Alliance to Kill All Humans. And they are the ones that you know because they were riding the Griffins. You're also familiar with a small handful of goblins and goblin tribes that have joined in this allegiance. You know that you have the Blood Think tribe.
Blood what?
Blood
The Blood Think tribe.
THINK?
That is correct.
Okay.
And you also know from correspondence, rumoring, and things like that, where I had a whole note about the different goblin tribes that were in this party. Where did they go? But you know, there's one more tribe. I cannot find this note to save my life for some weird reason.
Can we just say that you tell us and we'll get to it?
Sure. We'll say there's one more goblin tribe as well.
Okay. Because sorry.
No, it's fine. What's up?
Okay. Because, well, first of all, I have an basic outline of what Rufa's going to say, but later on, probably during break or something, can you give me like a rough outline of just how loosely it's written? I'm going to lawyer the heck out of that.
How loosely? Oh, the war declaration is? How
yeah.
Loosely? Okay. Sure. Yeah. During our break, I'll be happy to go over that with you. Okay. So you know that it's the Blood Think tribe of goblins, Red Rock tribe of orcs, Black Spear tribe of orcs. You also know they're currently trying to get all the other orcs involved, but for whatever reasons, they're not available. With that, one of the senators stands up and shouts, but wait a minute. If we are going to be invaded, we need an army. fact of the matter is, most of our fighting strength is on holiday. With the Knights and Atari going back to their regions and defending, of course, their part of Adelphon, we're almost at a quarter strength. We can't fight 5 armies. To which another senator jumps up and says, yes, tabled and moved. Also, point of interest, our senior senator, if she's to be here, then she is at a grave danger and risk her own life. If they are able to break through our military, in case we haven't got the Knight Senatari around, she's the Senate. We have to protect her. Another voice breaks up, and this time Bowen kind of says, stop yelling in my Senate. You both make good points. I wish to posit a third. The Knight Senatari are not present. They are all currently on holiday. It seems very suspicious to me that the orcs would take this time, while the Knight Senatari just so happen to be on holiday, to attack us and these goblins. Where did you say you found them? In the sewers? Disgusting. So if they are aware, which I would have to assume, that means we can have the Knight Senatari pull back, but we can't risk losing anyone to that mission. If I am to flee this state, I am okay to do so. I understand your protection of me, but I will need those to walk with me. Last but not least, I hereby charge anyone that we can expend to go forth and be our information commando unit. We know nothing of this world war. We know nothing of these orcs. We know nothing of their plans, save these maps, which quite frankly look like a bad game of children's tic-tac-toe. We have limited military resources because everything else is on rest. I have to now excuse myself to the north, which is a long and perilous journey, and I cannot go alone. But Adelphon also has no key information network and commandos that they can rely upon for further research. And this is where we come down to the moment that will split the game for good. As heroes of Edge of Legend, Adelphon Prime is on the cusp of finally rallying to fight against the world war being brought to them by the Greens. But it needs help. Number one, the entire Knight Senatari have been long left on holiday, scattered all over Adelphon Prime. And in order to have the numbers they need to stand together and fight the orcs at full strength, they're going to need their entire army, which the Knights represent. Number two, the most important political figure in the country, in the Empire, is at risk if she stays here. And she has to be expedited back to her home in the far north, where she comes from, until the war is over. Number three, the whole world is at war. The orcs are everywhere, and there is nothing anyone knows about this except you four. Well, 5 with Morel. Your information could prove vital not just to Adelphon Prime, but yet indeed every nation in the world, every empire, every home, every country, every tribe, as this expanse is global. So, heroes of Edge of Legend, you can make but one choice of these 3 to save the world. Do you follow a senator and protect her as she goes home to the north? Do you go to the south of Adelphon and collect every other territory within the Empire to make a strong defensive holding? Or do you become the tip of the spear, travel the world, and build enough information to save it? The choice is empirically yours. What do you do?
Damn it, PJ.
I can argue we can do all 3.
I also want to thank the chat for saying, hey, have her stay at Felix's place. Malice, I love you, man.
Actually, what if we have her stay at what's his name?
Isawo.
Isawo
Can go anywhere also, but if we are going to pull that card of trying to pull off 2 of these things, do we want her transported there, or do we want Isawo to take us to every single territory to rally an army in seconds?
Oh, Ian, you are brilliant.
So it's either we use her, we could rally troops probably faster than she would get to the north, if Isuo's magic house only works one way, that means she still has to go to the north on her own. Quite frankly, they have a system of government that means if she dies, they'll just get another one. They got hundreds of senators. Don't look at me like that.
Technically, we could do both with the magic house.
See, that's the thing.
Before we go down this Isuo's moving castle, I will say it is still a house. It cannot house an army. It has enough room for 2 comfortably and 7 flexibly.
That's why I think taking him to every outlying territory would only be maybe, honestly, don't know if you want to really split the party for things to prep on, but Ilona and Rufa being the 2 people who could probably convince every single territory that they need to help Adelfond. It would be a whirlwind tour that would probably take a couple days.
A solid point.
And as I said, we could literally just drop her off along the way, like blue telephone box style, which I'm not going to say what it is because copyright.
For copyright issues, of course. Yeah. Please don't attack us with copyright issues. Well, I'll tell you what. It's about that time that we take our. We're going to try a 5-minute break tonight instead of a normal 10-minute break. When we come back, we're going to do a quick recap of everything that happened, and we are also going to finally get our answer on what these 3 people are going to do. Are they going to get the Knight Senatari of the South? Are they going to escort the important senator to the North? Or are they going to become commandos and travel the world and get information? So we're going to come back in 5 minutes. That's 9:32. We'll see you at 9:32, and I can't wait to see what we go from here. See you soon, everybody. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for giving us that quick 5. We're so glad to have you still here. I'm glad you guys are loving this so far. I've been in the chat watching you guys and talking with you guys. So give you a quick recap for those that may have seen a few ads or maybe joining us just now. So what you may have missed was the Senate was meeting to discuss the validity and the potential of what these heroes had to offer when it came to screaming at them to say, hey, you might get killed by 5 armies. After some really good arguments being posited, after some personal facts being whispered, and after, I would say, 2 very heart-wrenching speeches, both from Afrins, at people of Afrins.
Frinians?
Afrin? 3 speeches. I got the rest of the Senate to agree.
That's true. Woodward, who was day drinking at 9 a.m, decided to kind of like put away the hooch and go, aye! And, hey, that whipped people into a fury, into a frenzy. So after much political discourse and narrative, Adelfon has recognized officially that there's 5 armies trying to kill them, that war is coming swiftly, and they have to meet them. However, they've said there's 3 major problems that are vexing them currently. And as they're signing the unanimous declaration of war, they got these specific tribes that they are waging war against. So it's not all goblins and all orcs. It's specifically the ones trying to kill them. But then these 3 issues, which, welcome back. We're now going to have a nice little player debate on. The choices are as this. 1, Adelfon does not have even a fraction of their total strength because a lot of their knights, or their senators who are knights, Knight Senatari, have gone back home because it's a national holiday. In order to actually have enough military might to fight these orcs, they need people they can trust, that they can spare, to go to the south of Adelfon and start rallying every Knight Senatari and their military to rejoin them for the final stand against the orcs when they do attack. The second is that the senior member of the Senate, the most important political figure right now, is not from here. She's from the far north, and if she stays here, her life is in jeopardy. So the Senate has declared that they would rather she be brought back to her home in the far frozen north, just past the, give you some landmark lore here, just past the mists of Keomalan, just before the shelf of the frigid scream.
Ooh.
Yes, Michael.
Really quick, I was wondering we could just rewind a tiny bit because you said that Lofen was the senator that's in Rufa's pocket, right?
Yes, we will get to that. It's not
Okay.
really where we're at with these three choices, but that's a different detail that
Okay.
we will get to later. So you have the first option to go and rally the Knights Senatari to reform the full military strength of Adolphon Prime. You have the second option, protect Bowen Rionag, the senator of Adolphon Prime, and take her back beyond the mists of Kaya Malan, just before the shelf of the Frigid Scream up north. And the third option, Adolphon Prime has literally no information about this world war. They need a unit that they can trust to be the tip of the spear, both militarily and information-wise. The information and military tactics of this commando would be absolutely trusted and would hope would be the better good, the greater and better good for the world. Those are the three choices that now the heroes have to decide they're going to take the mantle of. And without further ado, debate.
I had an idea.
Wait, peeling back
this
the
is out of
curtain a
character,
little.
right?
This is whatever. This is just you guys deciding. Alona said she had an idea. I want to hear Alona's idea first.
Okay. So I had an idea mid-chat. Basically,
Okay.
my thought is that I don't want to follow the ice queen personally, but my idea for the drama of it all is we get the Ulfgard company to escort her north.
Ooh, that's salty. That's all that is. That's just salty. I love it though.
I will
That's
say
spiteful.
this. I will say this. I'm not opposed to a roll to see that could happen.
Ooh!
So
That'd be
let's table that. Let's decide what you will do. And then when you do that, maybe you guys can do a roll to see if Ulfgard Company and a certain Seawolf are going to make the Ice Queen get home safely.
I just want to just make sure, like, right now we're talking out of character, right?
Yes, you're out of character.
Okay.
This is you
I just
guys deciding as a group before you decide as characters.
Okay, good.
A little peek behind the curtain here, guys. We spent most of our five minutes on our break already arguing this. We didn't actually most of us didn't end up going anywhere. We were just arguing with each other immediately. The screen went black and it started. This debate may take up a chunk of time since all of us came up with different answers. I think we should go explore the world and find information. We already know the inner workings. You know what? Do we want to do this out of character or in character?
I want to do this
before we
out
go
of
any
character,
farther.
at least the plan, and then we act it out in character.
Yeah, I
Okay,
second
so
that.
not getting into too much detail because I'll get into it as Woodward. I think we should go try to find all the information. We've found a bunch already. We know what we're looking for. We know how they work. We might as well be the tip of that spear. The Ice Queen can take a long walk on a frozen lake, and the armies can be gathered by somebody else who probably will roll better than we will. The floor is everyone else's.
So I agree with Ian on that. Given that we already know that Bowen was once a general, like she can easily take care of herself. Sidney, for you, I'm just afraid that Larian will kill her the
Okay,
first
yeah.
chance he gets.
That's true. It's a good point. Yeah, we do need.
I
to-
love the drama.
Here's the thing about that. Before whatever we choose, if we don't choose to go with the Ice Queen, we need to figure out what the Sea Wolf curse is.
Oh, before she leaves this room, I will find out for you. Don't you worry, hun.
Great. Okay. I'm done.
My thing is, I agree with Ian's plan because the Ice Queen could, whatever, you know what? She could take care of herself. Let her take care of herself. But I do have I want to modify it a little bit. Either way, either we go commando or we go diplomacy. we should use Isuo's house as our little, blue box. But I don't
To
know.
be clear, the box could be any color.
Yeah. But also, what if whatever we do, I don't want to split the party. Actually, I don't want to split the party.
As
I know there was
mods,
some discussion beforehand about maybe splitting the party. I don't want to split the party.
as mods asked, don't split the
Yeah.
party. Do not do that.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. That's
In the
a
name-
bad idea.
In the name of Iodex's green front lawn, do not split the party on a
Split the
world
party.
war.
I'm
Split the
leaning
party.
more towards the route of diplomacy, honestly, though. But we should also, either way we go, we have to find the most strategic war points, like the choke points of where the armies could be going or where they would be going. We need to figure out those strategic points where battles could be won, battles where we can lose, we can afford to lose, be lost. I think that's something we have to keep in mind.
I think you make a very valid point, Michael. And I think I agree with you in the fact that if we do, go commando, we have to be very strategic about it. This can't just be a willy-nilly like, oh, well, that area looks cool, let's go over there. Yes, we should absolutely, if we're going to choose to be the head of the spear, we should take that seriously because the fate of the world does depend on how well we do. But I think it's a very serious thing with the fact that like everyone else is just sitting ducks right now. Everyone else in the world has no idea what's going on. And I think that's incredibly dangerous because the element of surprise always gives somebody a leg up. So that's why I personally believe that we should be doing basically what we've been doing already and going as a small unit to warn other countries, to tell them what's going on, to stop things from getting worse before they happen, basically.
I also want to make a point though. We should, like, in character, when we go in character, figure out where on the map, especially most likely points of resources, envoys, because one of the things I do want to attack if we do go commando, or even honestly diplomacy, is attack an enemy's supply chain.
All right, now, before we get way too into commando tactics, we're still on the talk about what we're going to do. We may already be in agreement, but I don't believe we've heard everyone, and I've seen some eyeballs and head nods. It makes me believe that someone has a counterpoint. So really fast, it sounds to me like Ian's in favor of commando. It sounds to me like Sidney, you are in favor of commando.
Every time you say it, just sounds so wrong.
Well, now after Michael said going commando, it makes it sound like we're going to save the world without our pants on.
I put it in chat. Woodward's been part of Operation Going Commando from the very beginning.
I got to respect a druid who's all natural, all naturally, all the time. Okay, so really fast, Jonas, I know that you are down for, I actually made a note about something, but we'll get to that later. I don't think I got your vote. Are you for commando or are you for what?
Yes.
Commando. Okay. So
we be traveling the world, homies.
It's a big, big world. Okay, so for the Green War, if I got my tally correct, all 4 votes are for going commando. Is that correct?
Yes, with one little thing that I will point out.
Yes.
Here's the thing. We can go commando and still escort the Ice Queen if what we wanted to do was go north to see if they have any problems there. I'm just throwing it out there. It was just a thought that popped into my head.
Okay,
Do
so
you as a player want to spend any more time with the Ice Queen on the road?
Here's the thing. Me as a player,
Like, I don't.
here's the thing. Me as a player, me as a person that knows PJ's brain, knows that he has concocted some crazy. He would not present the Ice Queen as an option if he had not planned some crazy things to happen with the Ice Queen as an option.
I don't disagree, but she's gonna be there talking. She's gonna say
We can ignore her.
She doesn't talk very often. She'll get annoyed and then just like stop and just walk away. Like,
let me say this. I knew what I was doing about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I have made contingency plans for all 3 story paths. So, whatever you guys choose, I have a big old story for you to walk through. Also,
Honestly,
comma, I have a secret that I will tell you and chat after we make a public in-character declaration of what you're doing.
honestly, I'm now thinking about it. I'm more diplomacy, but since the majority of the group seems to want to go commando,
Mm-hmm.
I will bow down to the group decision.
Are you sure? Because I want to make sure. Because I thought originally your vote was go commando. Are you sure?
I'm basically 60% commando, 40%. 60% diplomacy, 40% commando.
Mhm.
But the fact that my other 3 compatriots are going commando, I will bow down to a group decision.
I would like to say, let it be noted, there were 0% given to the Ice Queen. 0%. 0% was given to the Ice Queen.
I would also like to say, with a majority at 50%, that means one of Michael's legs is outside of his underwear. Now, moving right along.
But we could do the whole Ice Queen thing. That could actually be tacked on to whichever of the other 2 we choose. That's
Okay.
how I see it.
So, it sounds like with 3/4 majority, and I'm 4.5. Anyway, with a majority, if not unanimous, we are going with the commando option. That being said, please offer to Senate your group volunteer to be the tip of the spear. That rhymed on
Just a
purpose. Chip. I want to. I
Going
don't know.
commando.
I don't know if I want to give you a hero point or take one away. You know what? Hold on. You got a hero point. Damn you, D20.
Yeah.
Darn you, D20. Okay. All right. So, you all 4 of you, and Morel, I will speak for him when the time comes, will now officially declare your big Avengers moment of we will be the tip of the spear. So go ahead and declare to Senate as they're writing this about being in commando.
Okay, this is just for Sidney.
Yeah.
Can we have Woodward do it? Please?
You know what? Yes, I think that's Woodward. You're now the voice in this. You're the face. Tell the dozens and dozens and dozens of senators who are now signing a declaration of war against a very specific aggressive threat. Tell them that you and your 4 friends and that Acadian that no one likes, you're going to be the tip of their spear.
So I think everyone's huddled together as we're having this talk, and we all settle. And Woodward turns around and he declares to the Senate, "We're going commando, and we're the tip of the magistrate's spear."
Yes.
Which means we're going to be finding out all the information we can.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that's about it. We're going to every place we can find. We think we got plans for everything else. We just kind of made the decision. We didn't talk it through too much farther than this.
Yeah.
We'll start now. And he just turns back around to the group.
So I rolled for Bowen. I got
Is
my
that
first.
a 20?
Oh.
So Bowen hears that you want to be the tip of her spear. She immediately stops signing, slams the quill down, snaps, or does a snap and a come here. A page runs in. She takes the paper, slams it down, starts scribbling furiously, hands it the page, whispers, snaps and points to Woodward. The page vanishes behind a door. There's a door to your left on the ground floor where you've been making your appeal for the past 30 minutes. It feels like 3 hours. The door opens wide. The page runs out, hands you a beautiful marble tray. On it is a piece of paper. Picking it up, it's in common. Do you care to read it?
Yeah, Woodward will read it.
Sure.
Yeah, he got a note.
It says, And on a long line of things, it says, whosoever holds this paper and the names attached thereof now act on behalf of the political party in interest and military defense of Adolphon Prime. This,
Woodward,
yeah. No, go ahead.
Holds piece of paper up, turns around to the rest of the group and says, "We're the tip."
Rufa stifles a giggle.
1 second, really fast. Joe, our amazing TD, I believe we can kind of hear some background noise. Just want to double check in with you, Joe. Make sure that everything's muted over there. Awesome. Okay, cool. I don't recall anyone. I just kept hearing some noise, and I was like, I don't know if that's Joe or me. Anyway, so back to the show. So you have this piece of paper that says, whosoever carries this now acts on behalf of the Adolphon Prime Senate and its political entity. So now Woodward's has a I'm a diplomat card, and everyone in the party has it too.
I think I think he immediately hands it to Shionabis and says, "You collect paper."
No! I don't want this paper.
Rufa
immediately
She's gonna take it and put it in her bag.
Okay.
Take it, put it in her bag.
You just don't want me to have it, huh?
You already have one.
Look, she's
We
got
all
the
have-
larger stack of paper. That's all Woodward's going off of.
Puts it in a folder.
We need to make it copies and triplicate it and then notarize it.
I think that's totally fair.
So,
yeah.
Ian, it sounds like you're the leader now. Congrats. It's great to hand off the torch.
When going commando, Woodward's always the leader.
I think it's
You're
cool.
not getting off that easy.
Ooh. What's up, Michael?
Just
Really
saying.
quick, as we said before, just a little rewind. Rufa had scribbled something down on a piece of paper and then just subtly just like hands it to Lofen. We could talk about it later. This basically, it's about the whole war writ.
Got it. Okay. We'll deal with that much later. We'll get to that in just a second. So you have decided that you are now going to be the commando unit, tip of the spear for the Adolphon Prime Senate and its military in this foreign affair.
Oh wow.
It is about 10:30 in the morning. Before we continue, I will announce that what my secret was. I made myself a note here. I saw a lot of people were in the chat very excited about the potential for a fight scene with the Ice Queen. Now, before we go into the potential moment, because I know Shionabis said she had words for hers, before we flash to that, I will now announce that I have decided when we get the time, probably somewhere after October, I will make a one-shot of the adventures of Bowen Rioneg going north back home beyond the mists of Kaya Modan. So tune in to whenever that's going to be. More details as we figured out, to find how much of a badass Bowen is, and maybe even tune in to see some daughter-son reconciliation. I don't know. Ilona, did you want to make a diplomacy check to see if Ulfgard is going to be the company that takes her to the north?
Chat, you have the power to make us the green army who kills her.
Ooh.
That is the side I want to be on. She hasn't been nice. I don't see why I have to be.
And you all call me evil.
Hold on.
No, see,
Hold on.
that's your character. This is Ian talking. This is just
like-
normal
Okay, then
Ian.
you as a person is evil.
Like, she gave me the finger and a boat.
Hey, guess what I rolled?
The finger.
What'd you roll?
Guess what I rolled?
Ooh.
What was it?
It turned in my hand, but it was a 20.
It was.
Hey!
I was rolling a
Hey.
diplomacy check to see if the Ice Queen would get escorted by the elf.
I don't think that's a good idea, though.
Yeah, it is.
She's gonna be dead before she gets there. And
Okay.
then
I
we won't
can't
have a
find-
green army.
What? I can't find a problem.
So, quick little bit of chaos control right now. It's official. Ilona, almost a Shionabis. Ilona, please pitch the idea really fast to Bowen Rioneg that she needs to use Ulfgard Company to issue her back to the north safely.
Excuse me, Miss Ice Queen, ma'am. My name, of course, as you know, is Alona, and I had a wild thought that perhaps if you wanted an escort to help you to the North Pole, it might be a worthwhile option to consider the Ulfgard Company. They are a highly trained militia group that has traveled the entire world and are skilled in defense. And I know that you have many years of war and battles under your belt, but I feel as if you had capable warriors at your side, you would be able to get to the north with no problems whatsoever.
You can see her sigh. She puts her head in her still fleshy hand, and she says to herself, I cannot spare any more militari. If I do, then the militists will die. We need them all for the orcs. I suppose renting out my safety and security to a paramilitary or to some sort of mercenary unit is the best option. Fine. I will ask this Ulfgard company to keep me safe as I travel back home to my village in the north. Lori and Madan keep me safe. So yes, it is now official with that critical 20, whether you like it or not, the one shot, the Ice Queen returns home is going to be a thing. So when that comes out later, you'll get to see the one shot wherein all of these heroes get to play unfortunate members of the Ulfgard company. I'm so sorry for your audio. Everyone here is going to be a mercenary of Ulfgard. Meanwhile, Larian and Bowen are going to travel north across the mists of Kayam Mulan and through the shelf of the Frozen Scream. And who knows? Maybe you'll get to learn some awesome lore about the elves of this world, about who the heck Kayam Mulan even is, and why he has mists, and what the elves are like up north, and all that kind of stuff. We'll look forward to that later. Let's get back to the right now. That being said, Senate is broken. You have your rights of commando, basically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you all one of two things. Either A, what are you doing? Or B, give me a roll. We're going to go through systematically and go through this. And then, upon the next morrow, you will begin your first ever journey as the commando unit of the free world. So, that being said, Michael, what are you doing? I believe you talked to me about you and Lofen are talking about the writ for the war. Are you still trying to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I did say I was a little hesitant to give you that information. So what I will say is that you will at least gain from Lofen what was written on the paper. You will not be able to access it, but you will know it's written.
Well,
okay.
The note basically was to kind of, if you can, to influence the language of the real war, which would be the Red Rock, the Bloodthink tribe, and various goblin tribes that's associated. And I also want to add the addendum of, in addition, any future orc, goblin, hobgoblin tribes that joins the Green Army. I really want to add that addendum there. Also, according to the note, also I want him to, because I know that was it Runebeard?
Runebeard, yep.
Runebeard, yeah. Runebeard was hesitant. I want him to kind of get in his circle of friends, Smooze and Booze, and report back to Rufa with any information about honestly, with any other senator that's seems fishy or against our best interests.
Okay. So you want to, understandably, include language in the war writ that would make flexible to any future enemies.
Mhm.
I approve. Sounds like you also want to flip a senator. That's going to be very hard, especially one who doesn't see human life as a
Oh.
threat to his own safety.
Not flip. No, I'm not flipping the center. I'm not flipping him. At least
Okay.
at not this point.
And-
Just, I want Lofen to become to gather information for Rufa,
Got it.
and also any suspicious other senators. Kind of like a little early warning system against
Mhm.
us.
Okay. I will count this as a downtime action diplomacy check. So you're
Okay.
going to make one big fat diplomacy check, and it's going to take both of these actions.
All right. Okay.
Show it to the world. I want to see that die. My man.
I put it down. Where is it? It was a 20, but then I put it down.
I mean, I
Yeah.
assume from your jubilation. There it is.
There it is.
All
there
right.
we go. There we go.
Nice.
It's
So-
okay. Someday we'll have like actual cameras on our
Yeah.
die when they roll, so we won't have to rotate it in our hands as we show it to the camera.
One day when this quarantine is gone, we will be in studio and we'll just be kicking ass on these dice
Yep.
rolls. So, potential. We'll see what happens. So, Michael,
Mhm.
Lofen, kind of scratching the back of his head, tells you, yes. I've already, I've gone to the paperwork. I've discussed with Lady Bowen. We've included language to make sure that the enemies are amenable to violent actions against us. So should those rules of engagements change, of course, why would we want to not let enemies of the state go unpunished? I have it on good authority that Senator Runebeard, they like to throw extravagant parties at their domicile. I've already put in a good word. I'm best friends. I'm the best friend. Everyone says I'm the best friend of Senator Runebeard. I make the greatest friends. And so I will let you know everything I hear from these extravagant parties. He throws the best
Ooh.
parties. He really does.
And remember this. This was all your idea. So all glory goes to you and your house.
He loves that. He loves that very much. You can see him get excited. He goes, yes. All glory to House Sempris, but all glory for Lofen.
Mm.
So he says that while you are on your journey, he's going to do his best to send messages to you. It's going to be hard because he's a senator. He's not a mage. He's nothing. So it's going to be a while, but like throughout your journeys, you now have a counterpoint in Elven Prime. So good job on that crit. Next up, Ian, downtime actions. Do you have anything specifically you want to do?
Before we end up moving into the next portion of this, correct?
Potentially.
I think Woodward's done with the Senate.
Hmm.
That building's really boring.
Yeah.
And he is making preparations for the journey ahead. In doing so, he's going to ask Rufa for any sum of money he's willing to part with to figure out how many buns he can buy before he leaves the city. He doesn't
Okay.
know if they franchised any farther than Adelfond, and he's not going to take the chance.
Very fair. Give me a local or society check to recall knowledge of where the Bun Boys were.
I
How much
will
are a bun?
do that.
Oh, yeah.
Those pluses are amazing for me.
Oh, I know this. Anything a druid is good at, it's society and local lore.
I got a 7.
A 7. You try to follow your nose, but man, everything smells like marble. You can't quite find them. You happen to find a bunch of the Brotherhood of Dogs, though. they don't want to talk because they're still sleeping the night before out of their system. So if you want to do anything else, we'll put a bookmark in that, and unfortunately call it a wash. No buns before you go.
Okay. I think that's probably his downtime action. That except, yeah, I'll call it that. If we end up spending another night in the city, I may have an interest. I may have something, but besides that, then I will call it.
Okay. All right, 1 second. So I'm going to make a quick note here. Okay, cool. All right, so I had to make a quick note in chat. That being said, Chonibus, you want to talk to a certain Ice Queen, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, how do you wish to approach her now that you've been given this seal of commando writ and the declaration of war has been approved?
Has she gotten up and left yet? Or is she like moving in that direction?
She's slowly moving that direction. You can see all the senators are now kind of leaving and they're going to their respective doors where their parties in their political houses go off to. You can see she's going to her own personal door because that's one of the top 3 senior members. She gets her own chambers.
She is going to puff it up there and try to catch her to
Okay.
discuss a certain curse.
Give me an acrobatics check to get up there.
Oh my god. You better be careful.
Anubis sees.
That is a dirty 20.
Hell yeah. Okay. So you are able to parkour your way up there with a lot of grace and deft of foot. And eventually, before she can close the door, you're right there in her face. She kind of looks at you a little shocked and she's kind of gives you an eyebrow raise and she says, I have a feeling this is probably important. Please come into my chambers. And you see she has this luxurious office, this massive rug, this big desk, this gigantic chair, this amazing library to her left, this world map to her right. And right above her is this unusual chunk of ice collected in a kind of glass dome. And you can see it's constantly snowing from this chunk of ice. She offers you a place. She has 2 chairs in front of her desk or table, and she closes the door behind her, and she says, all right, Sister of the Sands, would you like a drink? Would you like anything before we begin with whatever reason you're barging into my quarters for?
No, so shall we just skip the formalities?
Oh, bloody nine hills. Yes, please, please. In the name of Lorien Mondan, please continue.
I've heard about this sea wolf curse several times in the last 2 days, and I want to know what the hell this is, because no one will tell me a thing. Not that Larian would have told me 5 years ago or however long.
She sits in her chair, her ice crystal arm meets her flesh and blood arm, and she says, it's a sailor curse, simple as that.
That's it. Because I feel like there's something you're not telling me, like why his tattoos glow, why Halfson never leaves his side, why we really only fight near water or on the water. It's very, you got to give me a little more than that, because we both know that's not everything.
Give me a diplomacy check.
That's an 18.
Okay. She sighs. She puts her head in her hands. All right, Sister of the Sands, I will trust you, as you are probably one of the few sisters that I can rely upon in this world. His father was a human man, an idiot, a beautiful, passionate idiot. I met him during the ongoing conflicts that we face in the north. With the looking glass being very thin, demons break into our world without pause. As elves in the north, our job is, of course, to kill these abominations and these idiots and send them back home, which we do en masse. The looking glass has been thin, and it's gotten thinner since the great pruning and the tree to the north fell. From there, the White Steppe orcs have been constantly bombarding us with violence and war. And a war we have, despite my 10,000 years of knowledge, I still don't know why they hate us. Maybe it's because we're there. I don't know. Larian's father was a raider from one of the local villages. He was a very charismatic man, a very passionate man. We fought together side by side for years. I was foolish. I fell in love. I guess it was a night. It was but a night. And then lo and behold, as I'm sure most human women can attest to, I bore a child. A child that was not of my world and not of his. When I came back to the frozen citadel, the ice crown, they hated my son. And by the rights of our people, right, they should. He would not live forever like we would. He would not know our customs. He would be a bastard of two worlds and loved in neither. I knew this in my heart. My son would be a bastard for the whole world. And I knew that I could not protect him. I have been alive for over 10,000 years. I have seen 5 of the great world trees destroyed. I have seen nations crumble. I have seen men kill men in what they thought was righteousness. I have seen dragons die, gripping the swords that killed them, crying for a father already dying in his throne. I have never known my own God, and yet I am proof that my God exists. I have an absentee father for a deity. Could you even imagine that? Well, of course you can. So what am I to do when I bring a child into this world? A child who will either be envied because of his ears or reviled for it. When my son was born, the man who sired him in me, the man that I loved for at least one night, he went out as he is wont to do, full of bravado, fearlessness, fangs as sharp as a wolf, a heart that beats louder than any drum. He was a rally cry, and he was a moron. He died on a blade. Well, no, a fang. He died. He died in half from a demon who saw us fit to bifurcate the father of my child. And there I was, with a screaming little puppy child, without a father to raise him. And without the father to raise him, the people would not accept him, and I sure could not bring him home. What am I to do? So I took a long, hard look at the ice-cold world that I grew up in, with demons that did not second-guess their place in death or murder, with orcs that hated us because we were, present, with humans that fell in love and fell in the grave just as fast in both. And now a child, a pariah of both, a savior of many, maybe, who knows, I don't. So I looked at the world, and I said, my son shall never exist on this land to save him from the people on it. I went to the elven priests, the warriors, the kings, the magicians, the wizards. I even looked into the people that brought me my arm when mine was ripped off my shoulder in combat. Served that demon bastard right, though I took his, and I bloody well planned to keep it. Good trophy. If I seen that demon, I'm going to beat him with his own arm. So, I did a ritual. I covered my son's infant flesh in ink penned from steel. I burned his baby's flesh in holy blue fire in the name of the gods both on this plane and absentee. I cursed him to be immortal. I cursed him to be unkillable. I cursed him to be unsinkable. I cursed my son with the sea wolf's curse. So as long as that stupid idiot is on a boat out in the water like his dumb departed father, he would never know loneliness, and he would never know death. But that violent moron has to constantly dock his boats and raid from people like his stupid father and take it back to, what, his cute little alcove, where his short sleeping, long dreaming moron people mule to him like baby calves, like baby wolves. And he feeds them. He feeds them money. He feeds them food. He feeds them swords made of steel, armor, metal unknown, leather, the hardest you can find. So when you see those tattoos on his body, when you see Hafson, his axe, which that's a that's a cute bloody little middle finger to his mother, I'm not proud of what I did. But it's a damn sight better than what he was going to get going out in that world with the ears that I gave him in the short life his father cursed him with. And then he goes off and he gets some blue metal from half deep in the ocean, then goes to the Order to make me a holy weapon, and they do. And he's got the gold to call it Hafson. Like they're just two bastards out in the sea, trapped there forever. We're not exactly on good terms. I apologize.
I can't believe you cursed your own son.
I cursed him.
You had the audacity to take away a life that he didn't even have a chance to know. You didn't know if he would have succeeded in life the way he was. You did that to him. Do you understand that you threw his whole life away before he even knew it?
Some people die in deserts, some die at sea, but my son will never die in either.
You're one bastard of a mother.
You're one bitch of an elf.
That makes two of us.
Do you want to sit and drink? I could do this all day.
No, because I'm not as petty as you.
Good. And I hope when you hit 10,000 years old like I do, and you sire a child who is damned and cursed, and when you see your entire people dying before you, they're already dead, they don't even know it. I pray to a God that is no longer here that you are a better woman than I am. Because Lorien Mondan be damned, we need better elves in this world, and they are few and short.
The day I came to this earth, I knew I was a better woman than you.
Well, then I have
a disgrace of an elf.
Sister of the Sands, if you're done, then I suggest leave my chambers. I have a world war to prepare for, if you forget the last 20 minutes or not.
Have fun traveling with your son. You can explain this to him. You can have a nice conversation with him as you're traveling back home. I hope he knocks some sense into you. Maybe he'll kill you on the way. Who knows? Probably for the best, though. She's gonna walk out.
As you slam the door, I imagine slamming the door behind you.
Yep.
You hear the unmistakable sound of a deeply cold fist made of ice, almost breaking the wood finish of an easily 5-inch thick oak desk.
Keep walking to the party. Just don't look back.
Okay. So yeah. The curse of the sea wolf. You now got a bit of information on that.
Is it safe to come back?
I don't know.
Are we okay? Is it?
Ooh.
I'm also looking at chat, and I know J Monk said a lot of amazing things, J Monk, about this reveal. But I have to admit, my favorite is now they're gonna kiss, right?
The immediate.
Okay, so I don't know if Shonibus wants to share that with the party just yet. I don't know what that interaction will be. Shonibus, what are you doing with this information you have loaded on you now?
I imagine she is fuming. It's really hot in this room now. Yeah, we're gonna keep it to myself for right now. Maybe at a later date.
Okay. That's very healthy. I like it. Okay. Now, Ilona, I need you to make a perception check really fast.
Okay.
Everything seems dull now.
That's an 18.
18. Okay.
Ooh.
Now, before I get to this
Good perception.
little hidden scene here, I want to know, do you have any other options or any other actions, I should say, any other downtime actions you want to do before I put you to the scene? Because you beat the DC.
Okay. I was wondering if this was going to happen. I was wondering if this was going to happen right now, or I was wondering if it was going to happen later. My only downtime actions would be to pray to Afra for guidance on where they should go first. But
Perfect. No, we're going to marry the two. That actually is very fortuitous. So you go to the Righteous
boy.
Mile. You go to the Righteous Mile, correct? Is that where you're going to pray to Afra?
yes, sir.
Okay. Pray to Afra. If you don't mind me putting you on the spot, please pray to Afra.
Cool. So Alona's going to get in her prayer position, and she's going to sort of start with, I know that you sent me here for a reason, and I know that I am doing somehow something that you want, but I want to do the best for this country. I want to do the best for this world, and I want to do the best for you. But I've only just gotten here. I've only been outside of Ore for under a week, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm so lucky that I have these amazing people that have somehow found me, or I've found them, or you put them in my path, or I don't know, but I still feel like I am completely lost. And I want to do the task that you have given me, and I want to make the world a better place, but I don't know where we should go. So if you could help me, if you could tell me where we're supposed to go.
You don't know if it's a trick of the mind or a trick of the incense that's already burning, but you start to smell a fire. You smell smoke. It's very familiar to you. Your body feels warm to the touch. You kind of feel the choking blaze again. And then immediately it fades from you, and you can almost feel the sharp temperature of the normal air smacking you in the face. And with that, you hear this faint cry in terror, screaming for help, just down the Righteous Mile, somewhere further in. Screaming for help from anyone.
Ilona's going to drop everything and run right away.
As you get there, you see what looks like a man who is clutching a knife, bleeding from the stomach, holding all the pressure he can on his open wounds with a knife that's covered in this blackish, yellowish ichor that sticks to the blade like molasses. And as he's laying on the ground, you see a goblin dead on the ground like a corpse should. And you can see from the side of its oblong, football-shaped, obnoxious face, blood is still and meat is still in the teeth of this now dead goblin. And the man is crawling away aimlessly from this goblin corpse, just screaming for help. And he sees you, and he just looks panicked and confused.
Ilona is going to rush over immediately and use one of her heals.
Okay.
Ilona is going to use. How badly is he injured? Is he bleeding?
Yeah, profusely from the stomach.
Profusely from the stomach, as would make sense. Okay, so healer's blessing, small attack, small bonus to the first heal. That's a 10.
A 10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is your medicine check?
No, this is a heal. Can I only do a medicine check right now because we're not in combat?
You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to cast a spell, you can just cast a spell.
Okay, I'd like to cast a spell and regenerate 10 health.
Okay. As you begin to using the first charge, right? We actually have to make contact with the target.
Mm-hmm.
As you begin to make contact with him, he is clearly terrified. His dagger is waving. He even takes his hand off his open wound and reaches away from you in fear. And he's saying, "No, no, 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 I don't know who you are. There was a goblin in here. Who are you? I don't know
okay.
you."
No, 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 no. Hi, my name is Ilona. I am a follower of Aphra. I'm a medic. I'm here to help you. I was only just over there. I was praying. It is going to be okay. What you need to do, give me your hand and put pressure here. We're going to do this together, okay? We're going to count to 10. We're going to apply pressure. We're going to count to 10. Count with me, okay? What's your name?
Give me a diplomacy check with a +2.
That is a 17.
17. He tells you his name is Marcus. It's a no importance name. He is just a person of Adelphon. And as you talk to him, he just kind of starts to repeat his name and his family, and he relaxes. And he lays down and apologizes and kind of like the way a cat lays on their side so you can pet their belly. He lets you administer to him.
Okay. So, okay, Marcus. Has the bleeding stopped?
You've cast heal, correct, for the 10 HP?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
It's stopped. It's not only is the bleeding stopped, but the wound is knit and just the damage is done to his clothes, and that's it.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say, okay, Marcus, you are completely healed. You'll just be a little bit out of it for a minute or two. Do you feel comfortable telling me what happened?
I was praying. I was praying to Azimuth for strength. I need a new job and I need to provide for my family, and the money I'm getting doesn't meet the money I need for my rent and my food, and nothing makes any sense anymore. And I came here to pray, and then this effing abomination just crawled out of the ground like some weird hole in the ground. He crawled out and he said something in this horrible sound, and he bit me, and I panicked and I grabbed my knife and I just started stabbing, but he wouldn't stop biting me, and I tried to wrench his mouth off, but it was like a bed trap. And then eventually he died on me, and then I had to use my knife to get his mouth off me, and then that's when you saved me.
It's okay, Marcus. It looks like Azamat brought me to you, so your prayers were heard. I'm sorry this happened. You're gonna be okay. I promise. There's no scar, there's no wound. You're going to be okay. Thank you for telling me what happened, and thank you for being strong, because that's terrifying, being attacked out of nowhere. That's a really scary thing. You did a really good job defending yourself, and you did a really good job of letting me heal you. So you're doing great, okay?
Suddenly, you feel a third physical presence. This body walks up to the downed man and you and kneels down. You start to smell that kind of campfire smell again, the smell of burning. And kneeling next to you, you see a woman who looks like her hair is just moving in a blaze slowly, her golden robes just slowly moving with the wind. And she kind of looks down at this young man. She looks at you and she says, "Rough day at the office, huh? Whew, gotta hate it when that happens."
Nice of you to drop by.
Oh, of course. I haven't left you. Just been watching, and really, really good job on Marcus here, buddy. You gotta keep that on the inside. That's where blood and guts go. You little goofus.
You know, if there's anything I can learn from you still, it's definitely bedside manner.
I was known for it back when I was back when I was a human. Oh god. Oh good. Oh god. Oh me. I'm sorry. Where's my manners? Yeah, so Marcus, you're good now. You can go home. I'm sure your wife and child are missing you. Marcus looks at both of you. His eyes glow with gold, and the purple roses or the purple passion flower kind of like comes out of his eyes. He gets up and he goes, "My wife and child must be missing me. I miss them. I'm going to hug them." And he runs away. And then Afra and you are just standing in the righteous smile. So, how's it going? How's everything? How's it going?
You said you were the one watching me. How do you think it's going?
Oh, I think you know there's a big difference between watching and feeling. How are you feeling? Come on.
Lost, confused, oddly excited.
Ooh, now why do you feel excited?
Because I've never met anyone like these people before.
The world is a very big place. It's got some characters. And the gods, let me tell you, Adaraya, great at tea parties. That man can throw a tea party. Let me tell you.
I guess the one thing I wanted to ask you was, am I on the right path?
Remind me again what the mission was that I gave you the week ago.
To find your vessel, someone that's going to help restore light and goodness and balance to the world.
Right. To find my avatar, to find my whatever, my Felix Chance, if you will. Well, how do you feel? Do you feel like you found them?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. No. Yes.
Those are a lot of answers. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
When I burned to death in the temple that I found you in, by the way, primo location, I didn't know what I was doing either. I acted on instinct, on feeling, on that little, that little annoying voice in the back of your head that doesn't shut up. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you don't have to know. You don't have to know, and you do not have to know now, but you should at some point have a feeling, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So what are you doing now?
I guess I'm going to search the world until I find them.
Hmm. But there's also this business with the orcs, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. I can tell you from experience, it doesn't always take something crazy to find something amazing. Help. Rochelle got her godhood because she got drunk with the right god, and actually she did a lot of amazing things. So I'm not going to bad talk her. Women gotta support women. But what I will say is that everyone has their journey, and that sounds like such a cop-out. What I'm trying to say is that maybe you have it right, maybe you have it wrong, but you don't have to have it right now. But what is right now, this war. This war is pretty scary. It's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I feel like there's a lot of people that need help.
Are you going to help them?
Yeah.
Are you?
Of course I'm going to help them.
So how are you going to help them when there's a sword at your face?
I can sweet talk my way out of it.
Mm.
I'm learning a little bit of that from my friend Rufa.
That man has a very talented mouth. That didn't sound right. You know what I meant, girl. You know what I meant. Don't even start with me.
I don't know. What did you mean? I don't know.
I meant nothing. I meant
okay.
Girl, I'm a goddess. I can't have this right now.
What are you having? What is happening?
Okay, let's change things. Take a breath. So maybe you get in front of an orc, maybe a general orc, maybe a general named Korokos. Maybe those sweet words aren't going to fall so well in his ears.
I guess I have to defend myself.
We have a saying in Or, and I'm sure you know it. A welcome mat only gets dirty. Only gets stepped on. I know we're supposed to turn the other cheek, but eventually we got to turn the cheek into a kick. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if I'm going to try to figure out who my avatar is and be the person that saves the world, I can't have the person I sent out into the world dying because she was too good of a person to fight back.
So what do you want me to do?
That's a good question. What do I want you to do? What do I want you to do? Oh, right. I want you to go back to my statue, just down there where you were praying. By the statue is, one of the big daises. You should find a little latch to pull. Open up the dais. Whatever's inside there, I guarantee it's for you. I mean, it's my dais. It's my statue. I'm telling you to do it. See what you find.
Ilona is going to run immediately to the dais and rip it open.
As you rip it open, you see what looks like a statue of hands, bare open hands put in prayer, and wrapped around them is kind of a taupe bandage with braided leather cording all throughout. And written in Orjan are the words, "Let these hands be a tool for peace, but let my fists be what keeps them."
Ilona's going to pick them up and hold them in her hands.
the minute you touch this kind of top bandage with this leather rope cord braided through it, your hands feel this weight, this powerful weight in them. You can feel a light in your back, a warmth around your shoulder blades. You can even feel this trickling sensation of peace fall into your stomach. And once again, you see Afra standing behind you. She kind of says, I can't have my messenger going out and looking for whoever this hero for me is supposed to be if they're going to get killed the first moment they find an actual battle, besides goblins. So, I think you can borrow these until maybe your job is done.
I won't let you down.
You never have. And suddenly the smell of smoke and fire fades. And your body seems like it has never left the prayer position, but wrapped around your hands, clenched between your fingers, and tightening along your knuckles are the things you saw inside the dais. You now have on your body the +1 hand wraps of heavenly peace, the first magical equipment custom made for Edge of Legends. And I hope everyone in the chat loves it. You now have the first magical weapon in game.
Oh my god, that's incredible. What?
So a quick rundown of this magical item.
Yes,
it is
please.
a homebrew item. Absolutely. Take notes. Everyone watching, please take notes. This item, the +1 hand wraps of heavenly peace. These wraps are made from a simple leather rope cord and braided into a taupe fabric. For so simple and humble in appearance, there is great power, perhaps the greatest strength any warrior can bring into the world: peace and restraint. When worn on the hands and wrists, these wraps imbue any who wear them with the power to bring about peace with but a single strike of their hand. This magical weapon grants a +1 to hit and counts as an unarmed attack, as one weapon die higher than their unarmed, a strike not to exceed 1d8. It is also considered magical for the purposes of overcoming damage resistance, of course, and all damage done while wearing this weapon is considered non-lethal. And since this weapon will only ever deal non-lethal damage from unarmed strikes, there is no negative penalty for attacking non-lethally if you are not trained in this. And it can be increased with other powerful runes down the road should you wish to customize your hand wraps of heavenly peace. Holy damage, greater dice damage, or ghost touch and knock ghosts unconscious with a punch. The future of this weapon is up to you. Right now, you have a +1 to hit, a +1 to damage, and your unarmed strike can be up to 1d8. However, all of that will be non-lethal.
Awesome.
Quick call out to keyword Calamity. As you open the dais and the description of the item that you pulled out was, they immediately said, "Catch these hands, feel thy unholy wrath." Was their immediate response. And it goes down, and I wrote in the chat, I was like, "You called it. I am witness to this event." This is before it was ever described. Catch these hands. Thy holy wrath.
I'm for it.
Gorgeous.
So, Morel has his little catchphrase, "Thou art forgiven," as he throws a right hook, and you can be, "Catch these hands, sucker!" Pah! Oh, I love it. Thank you, Keyword Calamity. That was hilarious.
God.
That was incredible. Thank you.
It's also, it is canon. The gods know of Rufa.
The gods
know of Rufa. That's,
Yes.
Oh, this is known.
This is known. It is fact. If I ever have to get into any conversation, I'll be like, "You know my friend Rufa."
And the guy's going to be like, "Yes, what about them?"
Great.
I love it.
I'm gonna pass out little lawyer business cards. 1-800-RUFA.
Yeah.
Known by the gods.
Known by the gods.
Recommended by
Okay.
Iodex. Iodex is like, I don't recommend him, but at least I know of him. So technically, he's technically correct. The
And
best
that's the
kind.
best kind.
It's the best kind of correct.
Uh,
All right. So, it is. I'm gonna say 12:30 or lunch 30, as my appetite likes to call it. You still have about one whole day, the rest of this whole day, to prepare until you leave to be the commandos for Adolphon Prime and the rest of the free world as you know it. Is there any other downtimes, actions, NPCs you want to talk to? Anything else? Rufa.
Yes, actually. Now that we decided we're going commando, let's go get those military maps.
So many maps.
Military maps of like the
Of
world,
strategic
or...
points, points of interest. Pretty much what I was talking about before, like places that we need to protect, places we can let go. Also, important cities that we need to keep in mind.
Okay. So, if you want to do this, then what I'm going to need from you or anyone else in this party, again, I know that we've had the heavy reveal of the Sea Wolf Curse. We've had the reveal of the Hand Wraps of Heavenly Peace. If anyone else has any other big downtimes, or if they don't, then we can all kind of roll. Yes, Shonobus?
Just out of curiosity, I'll ask this before it happens. When they were all at the the Holy Mile? I can't remember.
The Righteous Mile.
Yeah. Yes. Did Shionobus see any of her gods? Out of curiosity.
Give me a religion check.
Oh God.
Oh, we're gonna talk to a Nobis.
Oof.
That'll
Oof.
be fun.
Fun.
You said religion?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 5.
Okay. So to confirm, you are talking about Anubis, correct? Or any of the other gods from like the non-elven gods from your land?
Specifically Anubis, but yeah, we'll say just Anubis.
Okay. I will say this. You didn't see anything at all regarding the gods of the land you're from. You have been hearing the entire time that you've been talking to Bowen Rionag, she mentioning the gods, the elven people, the elven race. And she does it with a sense of like reverence and also extreme frustration and disappointment.
I know that feeling well, especially from them. Shoot. Okay. She's just gonna go over there and sit in the pews. Yeah.
Okay. Now, which pews? The pews are specifically near a different deity.
Oh, dang it.
If you want the rundown, I can give you the rundown.
Yeah, give me it.
Okay. So first out the gate, we have Asmat, king of the gods, the big dragon himself. We have Aphra, of course, the first ascended. The second. Yeah, the second ascended human goddess. You get Minerva, the first ascended human goddess. You have Autoraya, the lion god of love. What could be wrong about that? You have Iodex. You have Falkland and Leofer. Iodex, of course, the god of law. Falkland, the god of textbook knowledge. And Leofer, the goddess of the story in the library. You have Koga, the god of war, conflict, strife, and struggle. And give me a perception check.
Oh no.
You're missing one, PJ.
Oh, what am I missing?
I know they're specifically there.
Nadir, thank you for the reminder.
26.
26. So yeah, you see a statue to Nadir. Of course, our expert woodsman remembers Nadir. and half her husband of the sea. But then, in the way far back, hidden almost like a secret, behind some foliage, if you're not looking for it, you won't find it. But if your eyes just happen upon it, it becomes impossible to see. You see a tiny statue of a man with horns on his head and an eye patch covering one eye.
Why do I know this description?
I don't know.
And
Do you want
it's
to go?
really-
You wanna go
We're just
investigate?
gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I feel like this is a horrible decision, but it's fine.
As you go to this tiny, hidden away altar, just out of sight, covered in growth, and peel back the greenery and the moss and the vines, you see the name Magadon, the betrayed, the one eye of ambition, the horn prince, brother to Ravan. Make a religion check.
Oh no.
Please do. I want to know who this guy is, and I have no idea what PJ's talking about.
We're getting into all the lore in this episode.
You said religion, right? Can,
Yeah.
can I argue for society?
You know what? I will give you society, but I will not give you the religious lore. I'll give the societal lore about this.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a better roll. So that's a 17.
Okay. So, what society says about Magadon, you know from your worldly travels and what people say that there's some very small stories about Magadon. You know that there are some priests, some clerics, and even some champions of Magadon, and they are all reviled. They're all hated, except for those within the Church of Magadon. They're called devil lovers, devil worshippers. They're called bastards. They're called tyrants. You know that to speak the name Magadon in a house of any god is like spitting on their carpet on Sunday Mass. Magadon is treated, the very name, the very word, like a filthy swear. However, there are those that cry to the heavens that he is just misunderstood, that he is just a victim.
I'm getting mad Lucifer vibes. Not gonna lie.
I don't know what you're talking about. You got to roll a religion check.
Yeah. Okay. She's going to kind of look around and see if like anyone else is like around.
Okay.
And
It's like,
she's like, oh God. She's like, here we go. And she's going to kind of sit, she's not going to kneel. She's going to like actually sit and like kind of have her knees like kind of to her chest, but then like lead her arms against her knees.
Mhm.
And kind of just like sit there for a second, just kind of, are you one that's been talking about me?
Roll a religion check.
Oh no. If only I had another hero point. That's a nat one.
Okay.
hmm.
So you, in
Story.
front of the altar to Magadon, this filthy, dirty secret, you say, are you the one that's been talking to me?
Mm-hmm. About me.
About
'Cause when
me.
Felix Chance brought up like, oh, like gods have been chit-chatting. She's like, she now wants to know
Mm.
why.
You, as you sit, you feel this sudden shocking sensation in the back of your head. Your whole body gets warm as you can still feel the tingle in your fingertips. It is all too powerful and all too significant to just be a coincidence. And as you feel this, you feel this warmth, this very comforting presence. And this voice goes, I am so incredibly sorry. The gods have been talking about you. Of course, I'm never allowed to discuss with them. They treat me like a vandal. I have known them since time was written in stone, and they have betrayed me in my trust and my love for them, and they look down upon you. They spit at your mortality. They laugh at your trees. And I want you to know that if you pledge yourself to me, I will give you the power to bring any love back and to make damn sure no god forsakes you. Even some jackal with a scale will respect you. And I'm sorry that they don't already.
She like whips around like as if someone's gonna be there. Like shakes her head. She's like, "You're lying. I know they don't like me.
No.
You're lying."
No, I do not lie. I have never once lied. I ripped my own eye out of my head to prove to them that I was not a liar, and they forsook my eye. I am constantly bleeding and begging, pleading that I am not a liar. I am just a god that wants to see you get the best things you deserve. They hate you. Your gods that gave you a tree left you, and the jackal in the dark denies you. But I am here to tell you that there are gods you don't even know about that love you astronomically.
Oh God. Then prove it. You want my devotion? Make sure he doesn't die. Ever.
He, you mean the sea wolf?
Yes.
He is already spoken for, but I will say this, and this is a promise. Whenever he steps on dry dirt and barren land, if you are there with him and holding his hand, he will never die. He will never die alone. I promise you this. But in order for this promise to be true, you must swear yourself fealty and true.
She's gonna walk out. Just shake her head and just walk out.
Give me one more perception check.
Oh God. That's a 18.
18.
17, sorry, 17.
In the back of your head, you hear a second voice going, "I told you not to talk to her, brother. You bastard, get over here." And you hear this violence erupt behind your ears. As it sounds like two brothers proceed to beat the holy hell out of each other. And you have no idea where the sound of violence and fratricide comes from.
God fight!
Not today, Satan!
Oh God, we're gonna find the nearest bar. Oh God.
So you met Megaw. As the nameplate, I believe, said brother to Ravan, and maybe when you talk to, I want to see you talk to Alona about that. But before we do, Michael, you want to get maps. I'm pretty sure everyone is down to get maps and get their head out of the godly crap they've stepped into.
I was basically thinking, that in movies where they have the mission, like the right before the mission, they have the everybody gather around the maps, mission debriefing scene. That's what I want to do.
Okay. Dope. So, it's like a battle cry. Dope. Before we do that, because I would love to do that, Rufa, give me either a local lore check or a diplomacy check as you basically talk to the government and be like, Hey, yo, give me the maps.
What did he say? Well, what role again?
Local lore or diplomacy?
Local lore or diplomacy? I'm going with diplomacy.
Heck yeah.
25.
So you walk into the local city hall, the main registry. The minute you do, celebrity.
Really,
Yes!
once, really quick though.
Yeah.
Once, if I'm in the city hall, I want to make sure that Mush gets the emotional support gnome license.
Oh my god!
Yes, absolutely. So let's make this part of the scene. So the secretary, the man at the desk, sees you and goes, Rufa? The Rufa? The master of war and peace, the Rufa?
Yes. Tis Rufa.
Word has traveled quickly. I heard last night you were just declaring war on anyone, and then today you walk into Senate, you throw a goblin down the floor. Bloody hell's where you got a goblin from, and now all Adelphon Prime is stepping foot and toe to this World War thing, and you're the champions, you're the commanders. It's such
No.
I'm so
I
honored.
would not say champion. I would say my allies. They the champions. Myself, Rufa, he is merely consultant.
No, you don't understand. Look, it takes any arm to swing a blade, any foot to kick down a door, but it takes a sharp mind to know how to do it best, mate. No, you're the champion. At least to Adelphon, you're the champion.
So kind. Thank you. But I am here on official business. First things first, I will request can I roll a legal lore? I just want to know the legal number of what a emotional support gnome form would be. Like, form X7A 12712 or something. Legally
go right.
stuff, bureaucratic.
Of course, go right ahead and roll it. It's a shame I still remember the exact law I quoted last week.
Your brain.
You're way too kind, and I
got a
appreciate
19.
It. You got a 19. You remember Jessica Ford? I believe I called this fellow's name Judge Q Ford. Judge Q Ford mentioned 1317 line A that this to have an animal that was once wild in a domesticated area requires licensure to prove they are domesticated, or else they'll be burdened an animal against the state and have to be put back to the wild. So upon citing that law, they go, oh, you need a 1317A referendum. Yeah, of course. Well, 1 second. I'll get you licensure right away.
Oh, so kind. I would need this for my. I'm guessing my. Was Woodward there with me?
I don't know. Woodward, where are you in all this mess?
Ooh, I mean, probably let down by him not finding the buns. If he saw Rufa in the street walking in a certain direction, he'd probably follow.
Okay.
So sure, we'll go with it.
Yes. Yes, for my friend Woodward here. Woodward needs the form just so we do not something that happened the other night does not happen again. I feel Rufa feels that Woodward, you do not want to have that encounter.
No, there was a man. I'm not entirely sure who he was, but he didn't like me or my badger. And see, Mush here gets real upset if I'm gone, and I don't want him to be, misconstrued as some wild animal, in all of this. So I figured it'd be best if he stuck around with me.
Yes. We formally request for the form for 1317 line A. And we would like to expedite. We will pay extra if need be. Expedite that form. Rufa does not want his friend to be delayed, or do not want his friends to have to deal with the messy such and such.
Oh no, sir, please. Look, you're Rufa. You're the master of war and peace. You get the 1317 line A referendum. Absolutely. You'll get it done. Now, what? Please. He runs off. And another guy comes walking by and goes, "Oh, yeah, line 1317A. I suppose I could be gone by a little faster with the right inspiration."
Rufa just taps his nose, takes a coin, and just slides it over. He's not even looking at it, he just slide. And just like, yes. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, that is very, very nice art there. Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's very inspiring art. It inspires me to work a lot faster. All right. Excuse me, I'm going to go aid him in the back. And he just runs away. Within 15 minutes, they come back with 2 or 3 documents. One that you sign, one that they sign, one that you keep. After the bureaucracy is done, they take their paperwork, they hand license to Rufa, to hand to Woodward, to hand to Mush.
I'm guessing they need to get it signed, so I'm gonna make sure Mush kind of gets a little paw print on the form. And then Rufa, I think, can I say it's safe to say Rufa is also notary?
I'll say this: you can at least BS your way through most notary stuff. I don't know if you have legal documents, but you can BS your way through it.
He makes sure to sign as the notary, and then also makes sure that Woodward also signs it or makes his mark.
Woodward, how do you sign this?
I wish I had a pen nearby. I think it's the classic 4-year-old with a crayon. The letters are there, but it's definitely gripped like this.
Like you're like W.
Definitely that. And I think I don't know if it's so much that he doesn't know how to spell it. All the letters are there, but it could have been like 100 years since he's had to last write anything. Like that's the feel you get. All the letters are there, but when was the last time he actually had to write anything down? Is basically the feeling you get as he writes his name across this.
Oh, right. So I'm just imagining this comical where Woodward's like, and he writes it out, and they go through the process where they take Mush's little paw, and he's looking at them. So confused, they put it, and he's like, "What is that wet sensation? What are you doing? Why is my hand doing on paper? There's my hand. Okay. What?" It's like when you try to get your cat to do anything with their paws, how very confused they are. That's Mush right now. So they get his paws on the licensure. So now he's a legally documented citizen and legal badger of Adolphon Prime. Congrats, Mush. You're now a citizen.
Rufa hands back the paper and he goes, yes. And Rufa would like to say he knows how important bureaucracy is. You are the wheel, the true heroes behind. Basically, just flattering and BSing at this point. Behind the city, behind Adolphon. You are the true warriors of bureaucracy.
So, the one guy who hero worships you is just blushing and just, The other one's like, oh my goodness.
And now then Rufa goes, now if you would be so kind to direct Rufa and Rufa's friends to the military maps. We have a very, very important mission.
One of them, the one who is absolutely enamored, says, I'll see what we have in the back. I'll be right back. And he goes running off. The other one goes, oh, all right, look. For 2 more gold, I'll give you what the Castrus Bellum uses when they do their war planning. The good primo stuff. I mean, for just a little more inspiration, I can probably see what the Church of War has to say about this.
Rufus actually slides 3 goes, saying, oh, I'm sure you would do it out of the kindness of your heart and never, ever discuss this to anyone, ever.
And he says, oh, you're bloody right, I won't. And he pulls the gold off the counter.
It's never happened.
Pockets it, and he goes, no, I am just a faithful civil servant with a government job. And he runs off.
Honors you.
He comes back without the other guy. You don't know what happened, but there was a noise, and we're not going to ask further questions. He comes back with a bunch of maps, put 3. He puts them down, and he spreads them open. And he says, this is the military map of the military installations throughout the entire Adathon Empire. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who get their hands on this bad boy. This tells you not only where the Knights Sanitari are, their numbers, the defensive positions, but how, when of course entirely mobilized, they can make a single defensive unit within the city. This pulls it open. This is the entire military map of the major continents. That is all the nations below and above Adathon and Adathon Prime. And this gives it this gigantic map. This is what we know of the world. There's Asmakan. Don't go there unless you want to die. There's the oceans. Don't go near the oceans of Asmakan unless you want to die. Here's the oceans to the north. Don't go there unless you want to die. Let's see. There's the Order of the Platinum Hammer. Great stew. Do recommend. There's Acadia. Moving on. There's the Shin Empire. Unfortunately, don't have much on the Shin Empire. Ever since the Great Divide, they haven't really been sharing with us.
And so on and so forth. Yes.
Oh yes, of course. So it's all here. It's all here, mate. Everything that you have requested is hero.
Rufa is like making notes and like copies and sketches as quick as he can in his notebooks.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Oh no notes, mate. Take them." And he just shoves the maps into your arms.
Rufa thanks you and honors you with your service. And he turns back to Woodward and is Alona or Trumbus with them as well? Or
I don't know. I'm going to say they've been having some come to God moments and they're a little busy.
Okay. He turns over to Woodward and say, let us rejoin our friends and then along the way, some buns.
Oh, well, I can't argue with that idea. I mean, friends and buns, it sounds like anything that a day can end for.
So really fast, Ian and Michael, give me a check, either survival, perception, or society, or hell, all of you be nice. Local lore to find those sweet, sweet buns.
What do you want?
Oh, man, Rufa killed it. I'm using the check that Woodward would have, which is survival.
Sure.
Because that is all he thinks of these buns as. And he got a whopping 15.
Okay, actually, they're both not bad. With your checks combined, you easily find the Bun Boys. You happily catch yourself up on all of the business and news. They greet you. Oi! Oh, I remember you blokes. Yeah, we saw you. We saw you in. There's my favorite customer. Hey, honey, our favorite customers are back. Oi, the ones with the the adorable badger. Make sure the badger eats for free. He's our best customer. Will do, love. Make sure you get the orange ones ready and the lemon zest. We're gonna have the lunch rush over in a minute. We need to get the dinner rush. Anyway, loves, welcome to the Bun Boys. Of course, Mush eats for free. How can I help you?
Oh, we're here for some buns for my friend Woodward and Mush. And if you could throw a few more in for our compatriots, for we are about to embark on a adventure of daring do and great importance.
Oh, honey, you're leaving already? Well, you know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. Love, yeah, sweetie. Those new beefy buns. The new beefy buns? Yeah, get the new beefy buns. The boys and girls are going to be leaving. Well, shucks, they just got here. I had some business. All right, fine. I'll give them the lemon and the orange zest, and I'll get the new beef stew buns and the new bacon buns. Oh, the bacon buns are my favorite. Baby, I know what you like. Sorry. Anyway, where were we? Yes. I'll tell you what. For the low price of 5 gold, call the whole thing 6s and 7s, side by sides and squares. How's that sound?
Rufa gives him
Rufa.
5 gold and
Thank you.
extra gold. We love your buns, and we always support small businesses.
Well, small businesses do appreciate you. All right, he takes the 5 gold. The other one comes back. They have all the buns wrapped up in this beautiful care package. They give it to you, and they say, "Have fun saving. What are you doing again?"
An adventure of daring do and great importance, aka, well, saving the world.
Oh my! Well, have fun saving the world and eat those buns all up. All right. We want to see you back here. We have more new buns to try. Okay.
Of course. Lufa cannot wait.
I will always be back.
Well, we love you, little man. And we love you, little badger. He's a cute little fella.
All right,
I-
so
I think Woodward pats Mush on the head and gives him whatever bun was allocated for him in front of the guys.
Oh, they love it. And he's just eating it like he smells it. He gets excited. He picks up with both of his hands and just starts munching on it. And they're just kind of holding each other like, can we get a cat? Oh, but I hate cats. I'm allergic. How about a dog? I do like dogs. Okay, we'll get a dog after this. Okay.
can I just say really quick in chat, Lady Torel, have fun storming the castle!
Exactly.
Yep. You read my mind, Lady Alterel. You read my mind.
It'll take a miracle.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna need it. So flash forward. Unless anyone has any business that they want to do, it sounds like we're gonna be meeting at what I imagine to be the Adelphon Prime Public House #1 for the map sequence of what to do tomorrow morning.
Can I?
Oh, what's up, Ian?
Can I have one side thing? I just want, if Woodward glances past it because he's still unsure of the entire thing,
Mm-hmm.
does he find as he's walking back with Rufa et al. His verdant sprout that he planted on the side of the building?
Give me a perception check with a +2.
I ate him.
Nope, this is entirely him.
I won't need it. That's a dirty 20.
Yes.
You look with a purpose, and sure enough, off in the distance, you see the verdant sprout just kind of starting to grow a little bit.
Hey, Rufa, I'm gonna. You said you're heading back to where the dogs were.
Yes, my friend.
I'm gonna take a minute and check something out real quick.
Okay. Make sure you are not too long, for we got great, very important business to attend to.
I think it'll be quick.
And then Rufa just does the whole and off to the meeting spot.
All right.
Yeah, Woodward trots down that alleyway, or that street that he was to look after the plant at first on the wall that he originally put there.
Mhm.
And then kind of look around the area suspect. And when he kind of starts putting everything together, he immediately, his eyes just whip down to Mush, and he's waiting for him to say something.
Mush is looking at you extremely confused, like just kind of.
No, come on, bud. You were, come on. Oh, hold up. I took you back to the spot. You were talking earlier, man. I can't. Come on.
Give me a religion check.
Ooh. That's a wisdom, correct?
That is correct.
I got an 11.
So as you're talking to your Mush, and Mush is just looking at you very confused, you suddenly hear this voice. He is not going to answer you.
Okay. Mush, it would have been a lot nicer if you would have told me that. It's fine if you don't want to talk. And I think Woodward just kind of looks over his shoulder in both directions to see if anyone's there.
You see, squatting down and looking coldly at Mush is a man. He's wearing leathers and a long, heavy cape. The cape is made out of animal fur. The hood stitched from the head of a wolf. He is covered in knives and arrows, and he has a bow around his back. And he's reaching out these long, gnarled hands from years of fletching and hunting. And he says, "That's her trick. That's not his. He will not talk to you, little one."
Hey, bud, I'm going to need you to take you about 20% off there. Take a few steps back. Who are you?
He stops. He looks at you. you see the appearance of a gaunt and starving man with a beard. His eyes are almost completely clear of all light and color. They're just beaming, and he slowly stands up and he says, I go by the name of Shilk the Hunter. Your animal is a very good animal. You would be wise to protect it.
Yeah, I have every plan and means to do so. So, what do you know about this woman you spoke of?
And then you can see suddenly this broiling hatred start to curl and snarl through his lips and teeth. And he says, Nay, dear, the mother who starves her wolf and fattens her rabbits. The woman who worships her green and denies those who walk on only 2 feet. She is a sister and nothing more.
Well, okay. Some of that imagery you're giving me is who's that? If you know this woman, who is that starving wolf next to her? Because I remember him too.
He was the first animal I ever felt pity for. Before I lost him in the hunt, I lost his name. But before that day, as I strung my bow with Koga and Ravan, I called him brother. And he starves because she cannot handle the way nature is supposed to be. She suffers him to favor the rabbit and the fox and refuses to accept that some animals have to eat to live.
Now, it may come to a surprise to you, but I hear you. I get it. Your sister here, or did you say sister?
In the divine sense.
I don't know her much. Shoot, I've only seen her once. Now, is she throwing things out of balance?
I knew I liked you. She is. She fattens the rabbit, she curses the wolf, and she lives in the green and dams those on 2 lakes. I respect her love, but I despise the way she goes about it.
Well, for things to exist, it ain't always meadows and creeks. Sometimes things need to go to feed others. Now, I can't say much about her or for her, because I don't know who she is, truthfully. But I can offer you this. Woodward puts out his hand with one of the specifically bacon buns
Mm-hmm.
that he got earlier from the Bun Boys and hands it to the entity standing in front of him.
Shelg, god of the hunt, takes the bun from your hand and he looks to you and he smiles with a sense of honest emotional reverie, and he says, you're a good one. Be wary of my sister. She is very sweet. She is too sweet to know that sometimes the right answer is the hard one. Is this bacon fresh? It smells delicious.
I'd assume so. I mean, they've already franchised, so I can assume they've probably got ingredients coming in from all over.
Mm. It is tremendously appreciated. Happy hunting, little one. And remember, that is a very terrific badger. Make sure to feed it. Not everyone would.
Does this entity walk off? The god of the hunt?
He turns, unless you have anything else you wish to say to Shelg. By the way, spelled
No.
Selg. It's one of those weird Gaelic words that have H's sometimes in them.
Okay. I don't think he says anything. Woodward doesn't say anything else. But he just touches the plant that he put onto the wall of this building next to it, and in touching it, it to recall that spell, it curls up and dies.
And as we do that, we are going to fast forward to the last couple of minutes, which will be you all looking over the maps, the military maps of Battlefront Prime and the real world. Michael.
Really quick, I know we're in the public house, but I want to make sure also that we get a private room for this because this seems important.
Sure. They know you very well, if not from your own clout, than that of the Brotherhood of the Dogs, constantly going, no. You don't even know. They're amazing. Give them a private room, or else we're gonna I'm gonna punch that guy in the face if you don't. So on reputation and strong arm, you have your own private room in the public house.
Nice.
Morel's joined you. If any other Brotherhood dogs you want in the room joins you, you're all there for the big war talk before you go marching off to save the world.
Is any of the Ulfgard company with us as well?
No.
No? Okay.
We don't know where they are currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only remnants of the Ulfgard was their broken shields and battered weapons.
Okay.
They ran.
Well, I'm guessing we have the high-ranking, quote-unquote, officers with us.
Of Ulfgard or of
No, of the dogs.
Oh, the dogs. Oh yeah, Zashmaru is still in the city.
Zashmaru's there, yeah.
And Woodward's number 2. So I mean,
so all the maps are laid out. We have what is it? What do they call that? We have a little table set aside for snacks and drinks, and kind of like one of those conference rooms,
Oh my god.
yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah, and also to give credit where credit is due, you also have number 2 for Ulfgard. You have Shonibus there too, so everyone's there.
Okay. So Lufa everything's laid out. He's standing at the head of the table and just puts his hands on the table, goes, so let us begin.
So as the canvases are sprawled out and the ale and the snacks are laced out, in front of you lies the ever eternity and infinity of the known world, spinning in place cyclically in the tragedy that is life and death, peace and war, orcs screaming, humans fighting, and one thing is ultimately certain, undeniably true, as the orcs love to remind you as they pull weapons from sheaths. Blood for blood. And that is where we will end episode 15 of Edge of Legends. We have made our line in the sand. We have chosen where we are going. And like Morel said, we scream into the abyss no more. So we thank you so much for this crazy episode filled with heart pleas and lore drops and gods showing up. It was insane. And we got our very first homebrew magic item, the hand wraps of Heavenly Peace. And remember, that bad boy can't be customized to whatever insanity down the road. Thank you for this crazy adventure, everyone. We can't wait to see you in episode 16. But before we go, we're going to say our goodbyes, introducing everyone. So, or doing an exit row, whatever you want to call it, exit row. Michael Powell, tell them who you are and where they can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Alrighty. I am Michael Powell, and my social media handle is at Mr. Kapow. That's MRKAPAO. That's Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. Or you can follow me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff. And I just launched my new YouTube channel called Fantastic Tales of Adventure. It has all my it's gonna have like TTRPG stuff. I got a couple videos up there already. And yeah. Oh, and on Thursdays I'm a co-host of Toyzilla Live. We do toy news and nostalgia stuff. That's on the Toyzilla network.
Very, very awesome. Sidney, again, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello. Okay, so I'm Sidney, and you can find me at Sidney Rubino. Is it on this side? Yeah, at Sidney Rubino on Instagram and on Twitter. And you can also find me on YouTube. Every Tuesday, I put out a video reading a fairy tale to children, dogs, neighbors, friends, anyone who wants to listen. And in the month of October, I will be reading Grimm's fairy tales or spooky tales of the like. So be sure to tune in every Tuesday to watch me read stories.
All right. Ian, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
My name's Ian. You can find me at Scoutmaster of the Troop, whichever direction that's supposed to go. On Instagram, you can find me the same thing on Twitch. Please feel free to throw me a friend request of any sort. You can also find any of my inner thoughts at blackcoffeephilosophy.com, where I am now covering the 9 alignment system of our favorite TTRPG and how you can use those alignments yourself in your everyday life. So come check it out, blackcoffeephilosophy.com. Thanks, guys.
Very, very awesome. I love it. Shonibus, a.k.a. Kylie Miller, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, I am Kylie and or Kai. It really does not matter to me. You can find me at Kai's Wonderful Life on Instagram, TikTok. I am officially on Twitter. It's a little bit different of a handle. It's Kai Wonderful Life because there's too many characters in the one I had. So we had to improvise. I played Shionibus's awesome game. If y'all are interested, I will be heading up to Utah second week of October to visit Evermore Park. It's similar to an adventure park if you've ever LARPed before. It's basically D&D in person. They're opening up their amazing Halloween season this weekend. So if you're in the Pleasant Grove area and want to come hang out, come play pretend with me for a little bit.
That sounds amazing. I would love to. My Pink Gambeson is actually being commissioned. So hoping the Pink Gambeson is done, I can join you.
Do it.
I would love. Oh my God, I'd love to. That being said, my name is PJ. You can find me everywhere at pj.megaw on the internet. When I'm not here, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Me and my man Michael Powell, we are here Tuesdays at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, talking about all these amazing Pathfinder books, all the cool new stuff in the playtests, and also working with the chat to build NPCs that, with the voting from you guys, could appear in the show. So if you want to build a character that will appear, if you know the Bun tribe, there is an orc tribe of bun-loving orcs that was voted on by the fans, and that is a real thing. So if you want to be a part of that, find us at the table. Join us, chat with us, and maybe vote alongside us and create an NPC with us. Also, great exciting news. This Friday at the Life Action Roleplay Twitch channel. So go to Twitch, put in Life Action Roleplay. I will be joining in on the sequel to Arcana High. If you remember Maya's Arcana, he used to have a show that was D&D, but in high school. I was Zach Morris, also a half-elf, and a bard. Now that character has gone to college, and we'll find out what craziness happens when a half-elf bard goes to college and he's still filthy rich, but very much alone. And before I sign off and give all my love to the crowd, we have 2 awesome announcements to make. First one, yes, we did unlock the Ice Queen and Sea Wolf one-shot to be determined later down the road, which we'll get to play as members of Ulfgard in this awkward mother-son drama. But for the entire month of October, we will be doing Halloween one-shots set in the world, set in the world of Edge of Legends, but it's called The Adventures in Daltonshire. So join members of the Compass Rose as they go on their first adventure into a cosmic horror world where nothing makes sense, insanity is reality, and death is almost and inevitability. So until then, I hope you like this spoopy Cthulhu Halloween one-shots we're doing the entire month of October. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you same Nat time, same Nat channel. I love you guys so much. Who do we got in the chat? Who
Heck
we got in the chat?
We have
Yeah, we got
keyword.
Reap
Also,
Psyche.
hey,
Oh.
guess what we forgot to mention?
Oh, what did we forget to mention?
We're launching our Discord.
That's right. At the top of the episode, we
right.
mentioned it. Let's bring it up again. So we are also launching our own Discord. Come join us. We'll give you links if you don't have it in the Discord. Find us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, same name, Nat20 Productions Official, and we'll give it to you. And then as the show progresses, we'll give you special content for subscribing. We'll deal with that down the road.
And Reap Psyche, yes, Darth Chonibus.
Oh, I almost had you. I almost had you.
You know she's not gonna believe a god that easily. Come on.
One
And
day.
also Lady Alterel, thank you so much for your kind words. Yes,
And the loader
Rufa
reference.
is the best.
Yes. Oh, and Jay, I'm probably butchering your name, Jay. I apologize. Jay Monic, I'm so glad you like the show. I'm so glad you love it. Check us out on YouTube. Let us know what you think. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts, my man. I will definitely look
Yes,
forward to talking
thanks,
to you
Jay.
later.
Thank you, homie. That's
Oh,
my
my-
friend.
Awesome.
Mahooch
And also
and Chip,
congra-
it's always good to see you.
Oh, always
And-
good to
yep.
see you, Mahooch. Always.
And Lost Thought, congrats on a new job.
Oh,
Yes.
that's amazing. Congrats on the job. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Right.
I got some. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for those one shots. I'm already wondering what to make, what to play.
So we're doing new characters, right?
All new characters. That should be said. For the Adventures in Daltonshire, all new characters stumbling and bumbling through Daltonshire. We'll see what kills them. I mean, we'll see what they do to survive.
I'm interested in what alignments these new characters are gonna be.
All evil.
All awful evil.
Evil all through the everyone.
You know what? I'll just play. You know what? I'll go against type lawful good.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
The
Give
hardest
us
thing you've
something
ever
to talk about.
played.
Oh my God.
Oh, are we rating anybody?
I don't know. I'll tell you what. Anyone in the chat, do you have anyone that you would recommend us rating right now? Do you know of anyone who does tabletop roleplay games that may still be doing a show? Please put it in the chat. We're more than happy to raid them.
Oh, so excited! So excited!
Oh, and thank you to every single person. The gift
Yes.
train that
Hype
happened.
train.
for
Hype
the
train.
hype
Thank you
train was
so
just
much.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
you
so
absolutely.
much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Seriously. Thank
Mahooch
you.
and Malice and everyone who's been supporting the show since episode 1. God bless you guys. Azamot, bless you. Thank you.
And also, let us know on our social medias what you thought about this episode, what you want to see
Yes.
more of, what you want to know more of, all that good stuff.
Yes, actually, Michael read my mind. I was going to say, for those of you who are watching the first time or the 15th time, find us online and tell us what you think, what you want to see more of, less of. Let me know. Worst case scenario, I take your notes and I do something awesome with them because you're awesome.
This is definitely the lore episode. This is
Oh,
like the
yeah.
lore episode.
Oh, yeah.
And
We
I love
stumbled
it.
into a lot of it.
It's
It was
so
great.
good. It's my
Uh,
favorite
we
thing.
got a
Oh.
shout out. We got a shout out for Scabby Rooster if they're around.
That's right. Scabby Rooster's our friend of the show. I actually have done a lot of shows with Scabby Rooster. So I'm going to raid them right now. Please stick
Awesome.
around
Yeah.
if you want to support Scabby Rooster. If you don't, we love you. And we'll
Check
again,
them
we'll
out,
see you.
guys.
Same Nat
also-
time, same Nat channel.
When dealing with devils, you should really consult 1-800-RUFA. Better call Rufa.
That's
Oh,
right.
bro.
You guys were awesome to chat about that. All right. Rating in 3, 2, 1. Did it raid? I told it
to raid. Did it raid? Did you do the
I don't-
thing?
I don't think
know.
I did it right, you guys.
No, I think you
wait,
did.
no, there is. You
I
did.
did everything
Yeah,
I
you
could.
totally did. You totally
You
did.
did.
You totally did.
All right. No, it's not showing on the screen. I think I did it. Okay,
It's
okay.
good.
All
So
right.
we're either here or we're not. I'm not entirely sure anymore.
Either way, have a great night, everyone. We love you.
Good night.